Okay, we will get started here. Everybody have the MOTD? Remember what happened last week? Justin, you still reading?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
You got the MOTD up?
Yeah, I'm looking it over.
Okay.
I think we just got on the broken ship, or
Yeah.
we're heading over to the broken.
Yeah, exactly.
My inspiration's gone, right?
So that's actually one of the things I left in the primer for you guys. It would normally be, I'm going to leave it so that Justin can actually get a chance to use his too. Plus, there wasn't a ton of opportunity to have used the last one. So I'm going to leave inspiration on for everybody. Don't forget to use it, of course, because it will disappear with your next long rest at least anyways. Justin, I'll get yours changed, but in the meantime, if you want to use it for, Heroic or Swift, I think were the two that you chose.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be fine too, so you can use it for those in this session if you want to, even if it's not on your sheet yet.
Cool. So I went for just real quick, I went for a 7 to 8 mile hike today up in Auburn, and I am freaking beat. This could be interesting. I tried to take a nap and failed. Like, I'm going to be mentally maybe a little off.
Well, that's good, because
definitely it's the most I've done in 2.5 months, because I haven't been able to do anything.
Yeah. You just got yelled at by the doctor on Monday, and you go.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Tuesday, he yelled at me and told me I'm doing too much, and then I didn't lift a single weight. I didn't try to do any pull-ups or push-ups. I just walked uphill on rocks for a while.
Hiking isn't quite the same as walking, though. So
yeah,
you're gonna get bitched if you're not dying.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Oh yeah, I'm super scared. It's a very real concern that I have right now.
Yeah. All right.
Might have lifted anyway. Who cares?
OG?
I said I would have lifted anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
Pushing yourself's half the fun.
I did, and then I thought I was gonna herniate my kidney, and then I was like, it probably isn't worth it.
It's true. That's true.
All right.
Other primer stuff. Artemis sensed the search, by the way. So the Sahuagin attack was 4.5 days before. It is. Oh, I'll give you the guys the date and the time here. There you go. It's afternoon, of course, and so it's basically it's been it was Monday, just after midnight, so early Monday morning, when the Sahuagin attack happened. So it's been, almost a work week. It's been 4.5 days since then. Specifically for Artemis, I only counted off one use of locate object for this day, because earlier in the day I would have assumed, that you tried it, you could tell that you were relatively close, so you just kind of saved it for the rest of the day, knowing that you were about there. So basically only one use of locate object, and then since you used water breathing as a ritual, no other spell slots lost. So basically the only thing you're missing as far as resources is one use of, or 1 second level slot.
Okay, perfect.
Water breathing, you threw that on Orvin, and then all of you guys and Samson, and that's it. So keep that in mind if that comes up. So all of you have water breathing. It's on the combat tracker. Justin, you have the combat tracker up?
Nope, forgot. Now I do. Neat.
Yeah, so that's listed on there for you, and then, we'll get to the other thing in a second, but since it's been that long, question, and this is, an in-narrative question, I guess, for anybody that could have potentially noticed. Has anybody noticed that Sarah was acting oddly during that 4.5 weeks? Or 4.5 days?
Probably.
Was Seraphina the one hanging out in her room?
Yeah.
I know, I didn't even get her to hang out and say hi. I just kind of think she's rude, apparently, now.
So,
Yes.
the question specifically being, did anybody comment on it or anything of that sort? Because, you probably would have noticed, of course, that one of the other survivors that was involved in the, kind of repelling the Sahuagin attack has largely been kind of secluded away through most of it, very rarely coming out of her cabin. So did anybody comment on that, or was that brought up at all? Or notice it too much, I guess? Or was it just, assumed to be normal? Obviously for Pogo didn't know her well. For Norak and Artemis, though, had been traveling with her all pretty much constantly for the last month and 5 weeks or so.
Well,
I just assumed she was a wallflower.
Sure.
Well, I was sharing a cabin with her, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have just checked in with her a bit, so I wouldn't have seen it as too odd considering knowing what I'd kind of want to stay away from people and kind of freak out myself too, so.
Alright, so you just chalked it up to, knowing what the situation is, and that's why she was secluded?
Yep, basically.
Norak?
I wouldn't have noticed because Norak's still just in his own little world.
Okay.
So he would
Probably still worried about Obo. Oh, wait, if it's been
Exactly.
that long.
So that's next,
What
actually,
have I
on the
heard
list.
back about and been able to tell Norok?
Yeah, that's actually next on the list here. So Arteme, on the third day of this time, Sai made it back to Dunskathak and delivered the herbs and the instructions to the Red Candle Priest. She has since been spending her time chasing butterflies outside of the fort, but she has, at least delivered them, at least as far as the information you're able to glean from her, which isn't, she doesn't speak in words, so it's, harder to get exactly what's going on or an exact, let's say, status report on that. But
Yeah.
Obo, at least as far as at that point anyways, is still alive.
Okay.
Okay. And then lastly, via the sending stone reports that Sarah has been making to Pepperjack, he is informed through her anyways that the siege hasn't begun yet, but the Vabian Legion's forces are gathered about 2 days south, and they're gathering there and continuing to grow, so it's imperative that you guys get back as quick as possible.
Okay.
All right, now we can get started here. Everybody remember where we left off and everything, right? Any questions there?
Nope.
All right, I am sharing the map. Let me know when you have that, everybody.
I'm good.
So,
Got it.
Got it.
Similar to the last one, of course, this is different decks of the same ship. You guys are on the third from the left. The far right one we probably won't end up using. That's just if you guys go to the quarterdeck of the forecastle. But you're basically on the main deck, which has been sheared pretty clean. The masts that you see there's only a few feet of them sticking up from the deck, and then they've been broken off otherwise. The ship is pretty badly damaged and is listing hard to port, which is to the left side. On your map there would be the left side. In fact, I can put that token on here so you guys get what ports in it, or what port and starboard and everything is, in case you guys don't remember that. Alright, so that token that you see up there, that's basically the directions for you, where port and starboard and everything is, unless you rotate it. So if you rotate it, I'll have to fix it. It won't hurt anything, but... So, the two halfling sailors, Skirv and Two Tooth, rowed that heavy skiff containing Norok, Pogo, Samson, and that chain leather sack crossed over to the Emperor of the Waves. Arteme, your swim was refreshing and remote. The sea all around is just infinite, just forever as far as you can see. There's nothing.
I thought I hopped on I jumped into the water, but then Sarah had come up with the broom, and I grabbed onto the broom and.
Oh, did you? Okay. I knew Sarah was flying over. I didn't realize that you hadn't swum the distance. So okay. Then between the two of, that's right. I think you were talking about the fitting on it, both of you, but. Crossing over, then you would have been too far to be able to see the bottom of the ship. But then for Sarah and Arteme flying over, you guys can see the damage is more easily recognizable, of course, from above. It's obviously something impossibly large had to have raked its arms across the deck, or in this case, tentacles, to have wiped it out so dramatically. But there are holes in the hull and the deck are just frequent and prevalent. They're all over the place. But you guys have landed at the deck here. Samson is with you, of course. Pogo, Norok, and Samson had to climb up over with grappling and rope to climb up over the side. Sarah and Arteme, you guys, were just deposited on the deck after hopping off of the broom. But there you are. You guys are on the ship. Pogo, you didn't have much information on why you guys were going here. I
think I talked to Samson, and he said there's something on board that we need to help the people. Basically, he said something about, we're on a mission to help a bunch of people, and what's on that ship, what we need. Yeah. So I know that we're looking for something. That's not the depth of it. I also think I said something about this seems like it's going to be a bit interesting, like kind of ironically, like, okay, let's go on this crazy ship over here. Sure, why not? Sounds like fun. Okay.
For some background, because you're kind of, obviously joining in the middle of the game here, so that you kind of understand what happened here, we'll just narratively assume that Samson had filled you in on some details before heading over to the ship, like while you guys were searching for it, maybe. So he told you, and this is something that he tells actually all of you guys would have benefited from this information, so maybe you asked him at some point why you guys were seeking this ship and so on. and he tells a short story essentially about what happened here. But he tells you guys that that for half a day before the ship was attacked, they'd been hearing a song coming from underneath the ship, from down. Did you guys? I don't remember if that came up before. Did the other
Wait,
players?
a song from underneath the ship we were just on?
No. From when
No.
so Samson was on this ship that you guys just came to.
Oh.
Samson was here with the Crowblinders, who are an elite military outfit that is trying to protect the refugees, and Samson is part of that group. But he was on this ship. This ship was attacked. That's actually where this will make sense from this, anyways, because presumably Pogo might have asked this at some point. But so while they were on this ship before, he says we heard a song coming from down in the deep. If there were words, it was nonsense, but some of us seemed to hear it clearly, while others only heard discordant noise. Of the Crowblinders, only Squad Mage Bottle seemed to recognize it. He said that he had some vague memories of hearing the song as a child. This is the name that he gave you. In the morning, maybe 2 bells after dawn, it attacked. Tentacles 20 foot thick crashed up through the waves and began tearing at the deck and the hull. High Mage Scatter assaulted the creature with bolts of electricity that were enough to make my hair stand up on end, but within 2 minutes it was clear that the beast wouldn't be dissuaded, so Commander Pepperjack sounded the order to abandon ship. The Cadre Mages sent soldiers flying over the Crow's Eye, which is they had 2 ships, basically, and they moved everybody to the other ship as fast as they could, while others scrambled aboard skiffs and rowed over in an organized panic. Bottle was beside Samson on deck, about to climb over to the last remaining skiff, when one tendril whipped out and carried him under the waves. And
Not Bottle! Oh, Bottle!
But the creature seemed not to be interested at all in the skiffs or the other ship, they called the Crow's Eye, for that matter. He says, we managed to get everybody over, but 3 Crowblinders and half a dozen of the crew. And then they, escaped on the other ship, the Crow's Eye, whereas the creature kept going after the Emperor of the Waves, this ship here that you guys just came to. So that's the background info that you guys have. That kind of fills a little bit of detail in for Ben, Becky, and Fox, who didn't know some of that stuff yet. But that gives Pogo some information about what's happening here and why you guys are here. So basically, they had to leave this ship in a hurry, and an important item was left behind that you guys need to recover.
God, I feel like Pogo would just be like, this better be an important damn item. This is really a lot of work, yes. This sounds like a lot of risk for hopefully a lot of reward.
Samson just kind of nods at you. He doesn't smile. No other feature. He just nods, as if to say, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work for sure. But you guys have landed here on the deck. Samson, looking around, he says, "This is about what I remembered, but it didn't look quite this bad when we left." And he's kind of looking around, checking the deck out. What are you guys doing?
Well, I think Pogo is going to start just walking around, seeing what he can see, and he's probably going to see if can he see anything through this little grate here in the middle of the ship?
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Right. That's not the right screen.
On your skills tab there.
Yeah.
All right. From looking around through the grate, you can see that there's a ladder extending downward. The grate itself looks like it's rusted shut, but beneath it, underneath it, if you were to be able to get it open, you can see that there's a ladder that goes downward. But there are you probably see 6 or 7 spiders that are about the size of your fist, like really big spiders, but not enough to be like life-threatening necessarily. Crawling along in the passageway below, like along the ladder's covered in spider webs, and there are spiders underneath there that are scurrying away as soon as you're kind of looking down at them. You do notice
interesting.
The deck is...
Spiders in the ocean. All right.
Well, I mean, ships have rats and spiders pretty regularly, but
okay, I'm grabbing the broom and going in.
I'll try to warn you ahead of time, Fox, but there could potentially be some trigger warning stuff for you in here. So I'll try to give you some heads up to not look at certain VAs or whatever. I just won't drop them on you if it comes up. Fox is afraid of spiders.
Well, she's got that broom.
Well, Sarah has the broom.
Well, I'm borrowing it from Sarah, but yeah.
I mean, you may want to ask first. I mean, she's kind of holding on to it presumably.
But we said we'd share it.
That's not me.
She could use it.
All right. But in looking around, though, you guys all notice this too. But with Pogo's, yeah, you're the middle one there, Justin.
Yeah.
The small
Forgot,
guy.
forgot what I looked like there for a second.
You look like a red-headed girl. But the ship is it's pretty okay. It's about a 20-degree angle that it's listing to the port side to the left there, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're kind of bouncing in the waves a little bit, that's pretty aggressive of an angle. The deck of the forecastle and the quarter deck there they look empty, but the stairs that lead up to each are cracked and smashed and kind of broken in. You can still climb up easily to get to them if you needed to. They just they're pretty badly damaged, as you can see on the map there a bit too. The short wooden stumps of what remained of the ship's mast, they're pretty badly destroyed and splintered off. Double doors lead into the cabins in front and in the back, and then that metal grate in the deck, of course, that would normally give access to the lower decks, but again, it is rusted shut, so
Well,
break that open.
I think I would probably ask Samson, where should this thing be? Like, what are we looking for, and where was it last time you saw it?
To be honest, I didn't see it at all. I mean, it's something that was High Mage Scatter had, so it was, at least at that point, I'm guessing in his cabin, which is in the below decks, but I don't know. It's going to be here somewhere, but as far as where, it's hard to say.
All right. Well, let's check out this top area while we're here.
I'll
follow
Sarah again. Oh, okay, maybe. Okay.
No, she moved.
Nope.
I'll follow Seraphina. I'm just be like, what you doing? Are we gonna go in here and see what's up? See what's happening?
I'm gonna go see if there's anything good in here.
Okay.
I'll follow you. Take a look.
You go to push that door. It's actually, as soon as you get close, you see that door is actually slightly ajar. It's not closed all the way, but you go to push on it, and there's something behind the door that's like holding it shut.
No knock! Come here, you big beastie man.
Okay.
Samson is opened the door to the south, like the southern door seems to open.
Great.
That would be the captain's cabin. The front, by the way, Arteme would know this, but nobody else has probably sailed very much. The captain's cabin is always in the back, directly below usually right below the wheel. And the front is usually a navigator's cabin, so that's where you guys basically are all in front of the navigator's cabin, and the captain's would be to the south, generally. Norak, you push on the door, and you're tall enough that when you push on it, you can actually see in the space between, because this one's slightly ajar, you can see that the door is, what's pushing it back is just thick sheets of spider webs. You're literally pushing it into a sheet of webs that are like pushing the door back shut. It's kind of an odd resistance, like rubber banding itself back towards you, basically, like a springy rubber banding. Like you can see the webs and everything. It's just thick.
Can I burn it?
Not without burning the boat down. I'm Pogo the Sailor Man. I'm gonna sing a song while I'm walking around decks.
Okay.
What about you, Samson? Can I see what he's doing? He was able to walk in the room? And...
Yeah, he's opened that door and is just beginning to look through. I'll go ahead and reveal the...
All right, because I'm not gonna go deal with a whole room filled with thick... that just sounds like a bother to me right now.
Are you afraid of spiders too?
I'm not gonna really... If I have another option, I'll go somewhere else.
Somewhere where there are less spiders, at least?
Yeah, less spiders. That seems like a good option.
All right. In this one, at least in the south here, that north one, by the way, you can, like, the webs don't look like they're impenetrable. You'll be able to make through. But in this room down here, the corners of this room are piled with garbage and debris. There are crudely cut wooden logs, like firewood type logs, smashed furniture, shattered crates, and then there's piles of dried palm fronds in one corner.
So he's gonna go up like a tinderbox.
There's a staircase that descends from the southeast corner, but it's like filled with stuff. It looks like some of the debris in this room kind of fell down the stairs and is kind of blocking it. You could move it and go down those stairs, but it's kind of in the way a little bit. But there's kind of an acrid odor in the air, and a black.
All right, you're gonna have to define acrid for me, because I have a communications degree, so I don't know what acrid means.
Okay, yeah, the communications won't tell you English words. Like vinegary, like sour. A black stained table rests against the rear wall of the cabin. It is right here on the map, but that don't necessarily matter, but right there. And this table There's strange markings that are covering its surface. Dried mud is that cakes the floor around it, and there's 5 severed humanoid heads that are lining the wall above it that are each pinned to the wall with a wooden spike that is driven through the mouth.
Fantastic.
Samson, he's in the room with you. Has stepped inside as well. He sees the heads on the wall, and stops, kind of stops in his tracks there and turns away a little bit, like in disgust. He says that, and he's looks like he's about to, trying to stop himself from throwing up. He says, "I think that's Picker, and that's got to be Cord up there next to her. The rest must be crew." And he's still kind of trying to gather his resolve. He says that the sea beasts that attacked the ship wouldn't have been capable of nailing heads to walls, so we're not alone here.
So he doesn't do it, but Pogo thinks how funny it would be to cast Minor Illusion and have one of the heads just talk real quick. He doesn't do it. He just thinks that would be funny, and he's like, better not.
Justify his racism.
Right after he says that, Pogo's like, oh shit, good thing I didn't. That would have been bad. All right. Well, I'm going to go back out here and let everyone know there's a bunch of heads just stabbed into the wall, and if Samson has any heads in his room, or if Norok has any heads in his room.
They're still so Justin is still new to this, of course, so he hasn't, you guys haven't searched that room or anything yet. Just keep that in mind.
Oh, I'll come back to it. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll come back to it. I'll let Samson hang out there for a minute.
I'll go on with Samson.
Give me well, I guess what is Sarah looking at? You come in the room. There's cobwebs all over the place. There's what looks like a bed in the corner that's covered in debris, not webs, but in this particular case.
Probably just using Mage Hand to move some of the debris out of the way.
Okay. Give me a perception check. I guess anywhere particular in the room that you're looking?
I'm assuming just this huge pile of debris that.
Okay.
I'm in
That's
front of
the
right
bed
here.
is under there, so okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
No, that's wrong.
The mage hand, do you have a special one? Because mine can only hold like 10 pounds.
She's not picking stuff up, she's pushing it out.
Oh,
yeah.
Got it.
But even still, the debris that's on there isn't, it's all like small stuff that this room has been tossed because of the ship getting knocked to the side.
Cool.
That kind of stuff, so it's not heavy stuff necessarily. For Norok, was that athletics check trying to push through the door, through the webs?
Yeah, I was just trying to open that door.
Okay.
So, and then I obviously would have told him what I assumed the resistance was. I would have told him that. It feels like webs or something, possibly.
Yeah. Well, you could see it. You could see that the webs were up there. You do manage to tear through most of the webs and get the door open enough that you can fit through. And obviously, if you can fit through, then everybody else will as well. So, in shifting through the rubble there, all the kind of debris that's thrown all over the bed, you find a small sackcloth that you see SM monogrammed into the side of, which you assume is the one that Samson had originally described to Arteme to help locate this ship. So you find this small sackcloth, or cloth sack rather, and then near that, amongst the debris, you do find a clearly a discarded but expensive-looking leather journal.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, that was for Sarah, for the debris.
Okay.
Does Samson notice that I found these things?
He sees you moving that around, but he's over kind of trying to look at the heads without, disgusting himself to the point of throwing up. Like, you see him having to turn his head occasionally.
I
Right,
float
so
over
I
here
would-
and call out if there's any scrolls or anything of interest. I want to see them.
Yeah, so I would turn my back to Samson and just try to shove them in my coat or something.
Okay.
So he can't see.
Okay. Samson turns around to shout to Arteme. He says, "There's no spiders in here. You can come in if you need to."
Okay, I'd come in to look for any magic stuff.
Okay. Go ahead, Justin.
After she's doing that, just a real quick clarification. I have a gem of seeing that I can use 3 times. That looks through walls or just through straight line, like if it was dark and things like that. I can't remember how gems see.
Yeah, it's not X-ray.
Okay.
It's you can.
I know it.
True sight. So it's basically
True sight.
you see magical glows. So anything that's magical, you'll see as I think. Let me double check on true sight. I think you see magical auras, but you definitely see invisibility and darkness. I think see through, like see in dark. I think. Let me double check here. True sight. Creature with true sight out to a specific range can see in normal and magical darkness, see invisible creatures and objects, automatically detect visual illusions and succeed on saving throws against them, and perceive the original form of a shape-changer or creature that is transformed by magic.
Cool.
And you can see into the ethereal plane, which means you'd be able to see ghosts and things like that as well. Not all the time, just when you specifically have to be holding that gem in front of your eye and looking through it. So it's something that, like, you couldn't do
like
that
a magnifying glass.
yeah, just like a monocle or something of that sort, basically. And 3 charges per day, I think, is what it is.
So, if he looked at Seraphina with that, he'd notice the mage hand, right?
Absolutely.
I just don't think I've had any reason to.
Yeah, he wouldn't see the mage hand. He wouldn't see anything there. He would just see that you don't have an arm. He would see, missing up to the elbow. You know what? In the well, that wouldn't be the ethereal plane. Never mind. Yeah, he would just see that your arm is not really there. He wouldn't see the shadowy version.
But it's not see-through, so I'd still just see her gloves and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I
that's true.
see that.
It would look
because it's not like she's not casting a spell on it.
Well,
it
that's what she does though, is the thing, and when that's what I'm saying. Is well, she doesn't all the time, but anytime, like if she was, anytime she was using specifically some of her shadow spells, her arm would appear, if she wasn't having it covered, would appear as a shadowy version of itself, like a smoke, kind of.
All right.
But anyways, I don't think, Sarah, did you use Shadow Knife since Pogo has been here? I don't think so. I don't think you used Shadow Knife during the fight, did you? The Sahuagin fight?
No.
You definitely used it on the halfling girl, the thieves, but that was before Pogo was there.
Yeah, I haven't used it on the ship yet.
Okay.
Can I see what's in this spider-infested, disgusting room over here?
Yeah. You peek into the room there. We'll come back to that in just a second here. I guess what is Arteme doing in the other room?
I was looking for any magical scrolls and trying to figure out what would have looking at the skulls too, just to try and figure out what would have put them on.
Okay. Give me either perception or medicine check. You can pick whichever one you prefer. I don't think any of you are proficient in medicine, so it'll probably be perception.
I'm not proficient in medicine yet. Okay, so you said perception.
Perception or medicine, whichever one you want. Okay. They're not skulls. They are relatively recently severed heads, still flesh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, heads. Sorry,
no,
I just
fine.
said.
I just wanted to make that clear that they don't look like they haven't been there that long. And you know that also, by the way, that it's been almost 2 weeks since the ship was attacked. Since Samson was here when the ship was attacked. So it hasn't been that long. But these heads, with that roll, you can probably actually get an idea. They look like they've been nailed to the wall for probably only a few days, but maybe dead for a few more than that. There's probably a week of rigor mortis and decay set in. But most importantly, in looking at each of these, the spike is jabbed through the mouth and then through essentially where the spinal cord would be if it wasn't severed, and then into the wall. So it's kind of just propped up on top of this. But for each of these, there's 5 on the wall, and for each of them, the left ear has been completely just obliterated and destroyed, and it looks like there's a hole drilled into the side of the head through the left ear.
Blech.
Okay, I did not get all that.
Was I cutting out?
No, you're just going really fast.
Sorry.
Basically, it looks like they got skull fucked in the ear. Is that pretty much what we're talking about?
Yeah, like the
with the ear removed?
The left ear is completely destroyed on all of them, and there's actually small, I don't want to give too much away with it. They look like something ate its way into the brain, is what it looks like on each of these.
Oh.
Okay, and that was a couple days?
They look like they've been dead for probably between 5 days to a week. and probably nailed to the wall a little more recently. You rolled well enough to be able to tell as far as congealing of blood and that kind of stuff.
Sorry, so dead 5 to a week and nailed about 2.
Yeah. Is Sarah doing anything with the items she picked up?
Nope, she's just in the bag.
Okay.
Okay, so I would probably say that out loud just to say that the whatever did that to them did it a few days ago, so it might have taken off by now, but just to still be...
Could be, yeah. You say that out loud to everybody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Let me know when you have that. Okay, and then up north, in the room up here, potential warning for Fox here. Whoops, I'm a square. I need to go mask mode here. This room is like wall-to-wall spiderwebs, basically.
But didn't Nora say that there were, or didn't you say there weren't any spiders that he could see?
He didn't see any when he wasn't able to get through the door. Yeah, just the webs, basically. And then it was Samson that said that he didn't see any spiderwebs in the room to the south.
Oh, okay.
The one that Sarah, Arteme, and Samson are in. But in that room to the north, though, it's like wall-to-wall spiderwebs everywhere, just sheets of them. The north...
Can I do a perception check to see what I see in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoa.
It's not a great
I get
roll.
spiderwebs in my eyes.
You're having trouble even seeing through that, and it seems like the webs are even more dense lower to the ground, which is of course where you are. So you're having trouble seeing too much. Norok, when you push through, you're able to, you're up a little higher, of course. You're able to see kind of through the room, almost like looking through a microwave door. You have to or a screen door. You have to move left to right a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So that kind of motion, you can kind of piece together what's behind it, because they're just so thick in the room. But in the back of the room, in here, you can see a narrow downward staircase on your left, and on the far side of the room, you see a table covered in charts and maps. And there are spiders, like small spiders, not still dangerous in number, sure, but small spiders all over the staircase to the left. And then that table on the far side of the room that's covered in maps, and you chart like a navigational chart, that seems like.
Okay. Can I use my mage hand to just kill all these little spiders? Just bash them?
It can't attack, I suppose.
Oh,
it still presumably could.
Alright, can I use my mage hand to pick up some of this garbage and just drop it on these spiders?
Try to circumvent the rules.
Little bits of trash to just drop it on them?
You can squish, over time, I would say, just because these are tiny enough spiders that these aren't, basically they're 1 HP spiders type of thing, which technically it's still not supposed to be able to attack, but I would say that you can, try to do enough distress in the area to get them to run away,
That'll work.
Killing them might be outside the realm of what Mage Hand is allowed to do, but Samson does step up to the door. He says that I don't know if we'll go in the other room there is a good idea. It's pretty gross. What's this one? And he's kind of trying to look around Norok as best he can.
Okay,
Alright.
since Samson
I'll
left,
move out of the way.
I'm taking out the journal just to kind of skim through a couple pages. Just really fast so he doesn't notice.
Okay.
And Pogo's gonna take these maps because he thinks they might be helpful when we're
Okay.
trying to find our way back
I would
home.
look over his shoulder to see because he has an interesting...
Okay, so
Yeah, actually,
two
I'm
things...
going
Go ahead.
directly to the last page.
All right. Okay. Two things are going to be happening at the same time here, so we're gonna have to skip between them real quick. We'll take care of the journal first, and then we'll jump back to Pogo, Pogo's demise and him rolling.
Oh!
So I'm kidding. I want to share that because I worked really hard on these, so I want to share them to everybody. But keep in mind, only Sarah and Arteme probably got half of this information. But just so that everybody's on the same page, I'll give it to everybody. Okay? Everybody understand?
Okay.
Norok and Pogo, you guys can't act on this knowledge yet until or if Sarah chooses to share it with you. Right.
Okay.
So, Sarah, you flip to, the last, because it's clear that it's a journal as soon as you picked it up, and that it's Bottle's journal, Squad Mage Bottle, who was left behind, or taken under, as far as what was what Samson had told you. But the journal is damp to the touch. The pages have this kind of viscous feel to them. It's kind of unsettling a little bit. The text is immaculate, though. This flowing script in Vindian, which is the common language for Justin. Each letter, page after page, is scratched in this like unerring detail, in painstaking work of someone that's used to scribing, that's used to writing constantly, where it looks almost typeface. But the first page notes it is, of course, the property, as you saw, of Squad Mage Bottle of the Crowblinders, Ninth Cadre, Second Sect. But you flip to the last written pages, and a few from the end, basically, you find this. And it says 19th of Summer's End, Thane's Day, new deployment. Neither Commander Pepperjack nor High Mage Scatter are happy about it. Seems the sandblasted Khan of the Vavian Domain has evicted all non-Vavians from his major cities. Refugee train heading north, but orders of Pepperjack received are worrisome. Emperor Kaya seems to think that the Khan plans to bring back the old Vavian war tradition of the starving peasant cannibal army, which of course the rest of you guys know what that is, but if we don't arrive in time, those refugees won't make it to the Imperial territory. The next day, we set sail on the Crow's Eye in a conscripted brigantine called the Emperor of the Waves. Tried to convince Scatter that the ship's name was a bad omen, but he's never been one for my tribal superstitions. Still it's nice to be on the sea again. 5 days after that, having trouble sleeping again, keep hearing something like singing far below the ship. Been careful about bringing it up to the Cadre mages. I'd rather avoid any further reprimanding from Scatter, but the dark circles under Picker's eye make me think that she's not been sleeping well either. I think I'll talk to her tonight. Maybe I'm not the only one. And the day after that, I'm not the only one. I tried to warn them the name was a bad omen. They should have listened. And then the next page...
Wait, so which one's the bad name? The Crow's Eye or the Emperor of the Waves?
The Emperor of the Waves.
Oh, okay.
The Crow's Eye is a Crowblinder ship. They conscripted the Emperor of the Waves. They basically took a merchant ship, essentially, and said, we need to use this ship, so we'll pay you, but you're going to come with us, basically. So they took the crew of this other ship, which is the ship you guys are on now, and he said that was a bad omen.
Okay.
And then this is the page after that Sarah sees. And Arteme, you're able to read most of this kind of, reading over her shoulder. She probably reads a little bit faster than you, so you may not have gotten all the details of the page before that. Let me know when you guys have read that.
I'm good. These must be the mythical ocean brain spiders.
Okay. No, please don't say that. Please. No.
Oh, Fox. This is
I'll
going
fight
to
a kraken. I'll fight a kraken,
Hey.
but I'm not fighting spiders.
be...
They say we eat like 10 ocean magic spiders in our lifetime, so it's probably not a big deal.
That's funny. You guys got that page?
So I'm guessing Bottle's somewhere back on the ship then.
So
That's what it
that's
sounds like.
That's what you've read from here. That's what it does sound like, of course. But as you saw the heads as well, Samson said that in the room, and that Arteme noticed the heads, that you kind of putting two and two together. The page after that is nonsense. Here, I'll share that to everybody. Again, Sarah's the only, Sarah and kind of half Arteme see this page here.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Have you read the Book of Breathe?
I
Yolk
haven't actually.
zombie.
I've been told that I need to read it, but I have not read it, no. Specifically because I usually read digitally, and there's no good digital version because it's similarly nonsense, so...
Oh my gosh, I have not gotten through it yet. Like, I tried reading it a few times, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And then there's the pages that are like this, and it's like, oh, what the frick am I reading? What am I supposed to be reading for this page? Like, there's pages like this, there's pages that are like half blanked out, and that's why I was asking, because this is like a mimic of that book.
I thought it was fucking unique. I think because I worked not hard necessarily, but it took some time to put these VAs together to build this little puzzle. But
Well, just letting you know that yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
That's good to know. I enjoyed making it, so I'll probably like the book.
I really liked the yoked zombie.
So that, you know what a yoke is, right? Not yoke in the bro
No,
term.
I know only the bro term of
Okay.
yoked.
So not the bro term. A yoke is what is put over an aurochs or a like a bull or an oxen or a mule. It's the thing.
Oh, got it. Yeah,
It's if you basically it's a slave. If you put a yoke on somebody, you're enslaving them, and he's saying that he's a yoked. Or in that reference there, a yoked zombie would be somebody that is kind of.
I prefer to think of it the other way.
that he's a weightlifting zombie.
Yeah, there's just a
Right.
buff ass zombie. Although I'm not gonna see any of this. I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah. All right, so you have that page there again, Sarah and Artemis, and then the last page. This is the very last page that's written. Is this?
Ooh,
Oh, no.
that is a face for radio.
But that third page, of course, seems pretty nonsense. Of course, give me an investigation check on both Sarah and Artemis, please.
Is that the tower one?
No, that one you don't need to. That would be an insight generally. You both rolled pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Artemis may have noticed that Sarah probably wasn't eating as much as she should have been, and is therefore a little bit sluggish seeming. You're probably the only one that would have noticed, having shared a cabin with her. She's got a level of exhaustion. So.
Yeah, I'm still making her the salve. Is that the shadow dude or something else? That last page.
None of you would recognize what that is at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
But
It's just a dude with his pet brain. That's all I see.
But with those investigation checks, do me a favor. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Skip back to page 57 and 58 if you still have them up. If you don't, you can grab them in the images tab. But Sarah and Artemis, both of you, just because the DC was so low, specifically Sarah would notice this for sure. His handwriting was very thorough and precise and repetitive. Every single page looked exactly the same. But that nonsense page, while it still looks like his handwriting, but it clearly looks distressed and written out without the slow, like, steady crawl that every other page has been on. And then, of course, the last page there has this kind of disturbing tentacle-faced humanoid creature holding a brain, and then the words below that says, "And now I too shall sing," scrawled beneath it. So it looks like it's still his pen, his hand, everything else seems the same, just not the kind of style that he had been writing in.
Okay.
And then, go ahead.
The middle of page 58, is that his thumbprint?
You haven't gathered necessarily what it is. It looks like he drew a spiral.
It's a doodle.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he drew a spiral in the middle of the page. The last page is his drawing as well. That's hand drawn. That's not a printed picture, of course. But he hand drew that, and then that's what he wrote beneath it. So that's what you guys, well, again, what Sarah and Artemis have gone over there. I'll tell you that is the puzzle I was talking about, but you don't necessarily need an answer now.
Can I get the writing from page 58 as, like, not having to turn my head every which way?
So here's the thing. I have that for you, but
Okay.
But there's a question there. I guess explain to me what you mean having to turn your head every which way.
Well, like, part of it's upside down, and then, so, like, I'm guessing it's starting by hiding in Giles Kraken's lair, musting nonstop unphilosophical questions, reading sophisticated tomes upon velvet. I can't read that word because it's upside down. Normally I can just... Oh, okay, waistcoats. Useful zest as babies can devour every fallow genius.
Fallow genius. So you've figured it out. I'm going to go ahead and share you the text.
Is this that new 2 Chainz song?
Okay.
Here, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta come back 1 second.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and share it. Yeah, I'll share it to you.
Okay.
Because you did figure out at least the first portion of it.
Okay.
The first part of it is that it's written. It continues from there, basically. So there's 3 sections. Artemis, you know what? Here, I guess Sarah knows. You can feel Artemis over your shoulder. Do you let her read this with you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then in that case,
Yeah,
Artemis,
as long as it's not Samson.
Okay. Yeah, he's not. He's over by the other side of the ship, and the ship is still kind of rocking back and forth. You'd be able to tell. You'd hear bootsteps if he was coming your way. This is what it says. if you read it in order. It's in 3 separate sections, and it goes the first section, and then it ends, and then it drops down a little bit. So you notice on the left side of the page that I shared you, it drops down a little bit, and then it goes the next section, and then it drops down again in the next section, and then there's a spiral in the middle.
Okay.
So you've figured out, I would say that RMA has figured out that the spiral in the center is to show you to read it in this order, to read it like a spiral.
Oh, okay.
Once Justin gets back here, we'll finish that part. And then we'll hop over to what's happening in the northern room. You back, Justin?
I am back.
So with that third page, page 58, again, this is only Arteme and Sarah that have actually seen this page yet, but Arteme has figured out that the spiral page is, the spiral in the center is specifically to give a clue that you're supposed to read it in that order, in that spirally order the whole way down. There's 3 separate sections, and I in the chat window there you'll see what those sections actually say if they're kind of written out where you don't have to rotate the journal constantly to read it.
Alright.
Anybody, so we'll come back to this. Like I said, you don't need to know the answer to this puzzle for some time, potentially. It's up to you guys, I guess, on how quickly you want to try to solve this, but at least right now you don't need an answer, but any early theories on how what this might mean? It's multiple levels of complexity, I'll tell you that.
No idea at the moment. I'm going to be writing it down to have...
I'll drop it in Discord for you.
Oh, okay.
Here you go. I'll drop the pages in there as well, so that you guys can scroll back to the actual pages if you want to. Oh, I'm on the wrong Discord. There we go. In the Embers one, and you guys can go over it between sessions. You don't necessarily have to solve it during the session, so there you go. Alright, and now back to what's happening in the northern room. Remove the circle in the navigator's room here. So Sarah and Arteme, you guys are reading over this journal, rotating it in circles, trying to figure this part out. Arteme figures out, of course, that you need to read that in the spirally order as it was. Up where Pogo is. Pogo, you said you were grabbing the charts and stuff on the table?
Yeah, just anything that might look handy.
Okay.
Trying to avoid spiders and just kind of generally grossed out by the situation.
Well, you might have made a bad move then, because just as you reach for the table, hang on. Let me roll it. Oh yeah, okay. Just as you reach for the table, you hear a chittering sound from above, and as soon as you reach out to grasp onto the map, there is a rubbery splash that covers the back of your hand and is immediately pinned to the table. Give me a wisdom save. You need to beat a 13.
Oh.
All right.
Yes.
So that's could have been quite bad news, but is it just in front of you, like right onto the table, basically, a vicious-looking arachnid scurries down the webbed wall, and then raises a very eel-like head and these pincerous jaws that are its eyes are clearly very intelligent and malevolent, far more than a spider would normally be. This is what you see. Right in front of you and much larger than you. It's probably, at the neck, it's probably 5 feet tall. Directly in front of you. Everybody give me initiative.
Alright.
And we'll get some RPG battle music. That's probably the one on the quiet side.
So bad.
Get the encounter loaded for you. Alright, oh, I need one for Samson still, hang on. There we go. Alright, directly in front of you. Oh, I gotta throw him a bit. There we go. Is right in front of you there. You could tell the basically as it hopped down and stared you in the eyes, it was attempting to control your mind a little bit. Like that's what you shrugged off. So if it had succeeded, it would have been potentially pretty dangerous, of course.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Yeah, it is your turn. And as soon as this happens, you hear more skittering coming from behind you. As 2 more spiders are in the webs from above, kind of crawling your direction.
All right. I think I'm gonna have to disengage from these guys a little bit. I'm not using disengage. I'm just gonna. Wait, is this spider right in front of me?
Yeah.
Or is there like?
It's within melee range if you try to move.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta read through a few things real quick.
No problem. Arteme, you are up next.
Oh, okay.
So whatever when it comes to your turn, you have an idea of what you're gonna do. It's probably hide and cry, but
I think I'm gonna have to use Tasha's hideous laughter.
Okay.
On him, so I'll use a. So I got him targeted and cast.
All right. He actually. Hang on 1 second. I gotta see how this spell works here real quick.
Sure. So did I.
He actually gets advantage against that. So I'm gonna re-roll the save. He would have failed. So if he still fails on the second roll, then you're good. Or then it would affect him. But it is wisdom. Still failed. I got a 10 on the second one.
Right.
He has advantage against being charmed, and that's what I had to look up as if it was a charm style effect, which it is.
Got it.
But he did fail. He got a 13 on one and a 10 on the other. So what does it do?
So this basically makes him think everything's hilariously funny, falls into fits of laughter, and he basically falls prone and is incapacitated and able to stand up for the duration. So he's just prone, and at the end of each of his turns, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. And the target has advantage on the saving throw if it's triggered by damage. So basically, he's out of it for a minute. So
okay. Unless he gets hit. And
6 turns unless he gets hit. Yeah.
Go ahead and go ahead.
Oh, drop the targeted?
Drop the incapacitated and prone effects on him. And then you can, if you just, actually, since you have him targeted, you just click all 3 of the effects.
One of them's for self.
Yeah, that one is yours. Since it says self, no matter who you have targeted, if you click it, it'll only apply it to you. And that one is your concentration. So if something hits you and breaks your concentration, then that would drop the effect on him.
Alright, I am going to back up here.
Yeah, now that he's incapacitated, you can back away without risking an opportunity attack. The one to your right is pretty close, but I hadn't actually moved him yet. He would have been into the webs enough that you're probably safe enough to move.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go 5.
Remember, the webs are hazardous terrain too, so you're half movement. So you get 15
got
feet.
It. Well, not super helpful. We'll go this way.
Okay.
And can I yell out to the ladies on the other side of the ship that we need some help over here?
Sure. That's a free action, so.
Yeah, we need some help, guys.
All right, that is your turn.
Yeah, that will do it.
Okay. Arteme, you hear a shout from the north, from the halfling that came along with you to help.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna move over
We're
here
probably not going to get much enthusiasm from Arteme right now.
and use flaming arrows.
Okay. Do you have a shot? I mean, with the angle where you're at when you're going to be firing straight through. Oh, you mean cast it or actually fire something?
Oh no, just cast it on my arrows.
Okay. Go ahead and put up the effect and everything. And
Can I go back and just also pull my I forgot to say pull my rapier out? Can I do that too?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's an interact, so you can do that. You basically can do one of those per round anyways. So yeah.
Cool.
So now it's in your hand and ready to defend yourself. All right, Fox, Arteme has the arrows in her quiver are glowing orange. What are you doing? Any bonus actions anymore? Is that it for your movement?
Yep, that was it, I think.
Okay. Now remember, the ship is leaning off to the left as well. Okay. Then with that, that it doesn't happen yet. So it is Norok's turn.
Okie doke.
You are in the middle of the room here. You saw a very large spider that is much bigger than, like, if you were spider sized, it'd be about your size as far as height and everything is concerned. It's a little bit quiet. Let me turn that up a little bit.
Luckily, he's just laughing around in the corner, so he doesn't seem like he's a bother.
There is an odd chittering sound. It doesn't have a mouth capable of, languagey kind of that in that way. But it is incapacitated and like skittering around, like almost looks like he's wounded, but kind of rolled over to one side and the legs kind of dancing together as it's laughing.
I'm gonna see if I can dash up some of these big spiders over here, since that other one doesn't seem like it's doing anything. I'd see it over there just making dumb noises and not moving, so...
you saw the halfling, you saw Pogo, you know his name. Do something that seems to have, incapacitated the other spider, so...
Technically, I waved a feather in the air and then talked and did like a little dance.
You didn't call it a joke? I'm disappointed.
I don't have any spider jokes.
Oh, you don't have spider... Okay, so you need...
I didn't have time to look it up. I got instantly very scared from this big giant spider.
Alright, so you just say, what's the spider's favorite band? Good Charlotte? Would that work? Would that make him laugh?
I think everyone would be like, the hell is a good Charlotte?
Exactly. Is this 2004? What the hell is going on?
Well, 2004, that's that's probably like, I don't know.
Probably
when was
that in
Charlotte's Web written?
the same universe?
Yeah, well, I don't know when Charlotte's Web was written. Like, that's too far back.
70s, I think? 60s? Something like that?
It might be. I'm thinking more like 40s, 50s, because that farm...
Maybe it is.
The setting is closer to 40s, 50s, but I don't know, when it was written. So, anyway.
Yeah,
but that definitely hits. So one of these spiders is still kind of half on the wall, not even quite onto the ground yet, or onto the floor yet, and you just swing Vulcan through its shape. They're quite large, so you could probably cleave off some legs, but it may still be alive.
Okay.
Yeah, still, like, pretty... Which one was that?
10.
10? Pretty... Yeah, you cleave through, like, half of it, basically, like a big chunk through its abdomen, and then yank Vulcan back. It looks pretty badly injured.
Okay.
Hits as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, you just aim for the same spot and cleave back through it. You don't cut it into pieces, but just a massive hole through the abdomen that when it kind of it falls off of the wall and splats against the floor, with the kind of guts of its abdomen spilling out over your boots, it is dead.
Okay, and already raged, so that's it.
I need a better corpse option thing. Oh, that's funny. It's playing a sound effect for hideous laughter. He gets to... Is it the end of his turn, Justin?
Basically, it doesn't look like... at the end of each of its turns, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Then let's see if it breaks out here. No, it did not. So still an 11, so it did not succeed. At that point, you don't even hear anything, still focused on the spider in front of you, but you feel an itching at your feet, and immediately look down and see you are covered in a growing swarm of spiders that have immediately enveloped you and crawling up your legs. You are enswarmed, which it gets to make an attack against you for, which I have to scroll to get to you. There we go. for a 13. So they're biting. They're trying to bite into your boots and into your leggings and your clothes and everything, but it can't seem to bite through. But you are swarmed, which can occupy your space and move. Wait. Okay. No other ill effects at the moment other than just being covered by these spiders.
This is unpleasant.
Samson comes charging back in, or into this room. He hadn't come into here yet, and it starts cleaving his way through the webs, trying to make room. What is? Oh, water breathing. Okay, which he can only make 15 feet through until he approaches this one. He sees the other one in the corner that is still like skittering. He assumes that it's been injured, so he does not go after the larger one because it's been looks like it's down. But he misses his cleave against the larger spider here. Who has finally reached the ground and is now going to try to bite him, which hits. Which has to make a con save. He succeeded. Right. It is Sarah's turn.
Alrighty.
These Constitution saves are making me nervous.
You mean the concentrate? Oh, you mean okay.
Oh.
The what Samson had to make, you mean?
Yeah.
Alright, that's as far as I can get, and I'm gonna throw up mage armor, and yeah, that's it for my turn.
Okay. For Pogo, did you mark off a spell slot for your Tasha City Slapper?
I did.
And then Artemis, did you mark off your slot for fire arrows?
No, I forgot.
Okay. That is okay. We're back around to this one. Your Pogo's turn. You have a swarm of spiders surrounding you. You can, start smacking at them to break them off of you. But a swarm. Let me get the notes on swarm again. I closed it.
Can I target the whole swarm at once with my vicious mockery?
You get the impression that probably wouldn't help.
All right. Is that just because they can't understand English?
Yeah,
or
so psychic damage doesn't... Yeah, basically it has to have a minimum level of intelligence, and they're regular spiders. The big guy, though, the only reason that worked on the big guy is because that's not really a spider.
Yeah.
Like, it has the head of it is tenebrous. It's, the head of it is like a long tentacle, almost. Of the big guy. But the other spiders are all spiders. But you can smash them. Like, you can work at smashing them up.
Trying to decide. That would just still count as my action, right?
Yeah, that'll take your turn to do it for sure.
Alright. Just checking to see if I have other options here. Yeah. Can I start smashing them and use Mage Hand to start smashing them? Or just start smashing
Mage Hand attacks wouldn't do you any good, but you can use your action to kind of just smash and stomp and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start stomping them and get them off me the best I can. What do you want me to roll for that? Make
an attack against the swarm. It's on the combat tracker now.
Alright. How do I choose the swarm?
It's on the combat tracker. You guys see it now, right? Did I hide it?
I don't know. I don't see it.
Oh shit. Okay, hang on.
It was on there.
Yeah, I thought I grabbed it. Which one is?
I'm mostly hoping that the way Samson usually rolls, he does not try to help me with this. He's gonna cleave off my arm.
Yeah. So if you roll a natural 1, that's when you do have risks of accidentally hitting friendlies. Oh, sorry.
It is not letting me target Swarm of Spiders.
Swarm of Spiders 16, northwest of you.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm holding control and trying to click on it.
Use try to target on the combat tracker. That's my fault. I need to adjust the token for it. When the tokens have space between like that, it's actually easier to click the empty space than it is to actually click the individual little tiny spiders.
So how do I use the combat tracker to...
if you hold down control and then click it in the combat tracker, that should work. If not, I can do it for you. There you go. Okay.
There we go. And then just a general attack roll.
Yeah, if you're stomping, just you can use your. It'll be a. Yeah, but just go ahead and use your rapier. It won't actually be your rapier that you're using, but we'll just use that as far as the math is concerned. It hits. So go ahead and roll the damage. Alright, you smash and smash and smash, killing as many of these as you can. It looks like you finished off about half of them. Hang on. Never mind. So you keep smacking and squishing as many as you can, but it's not... It doesn't seem like basically these are resistant to regular kinds of damage because they're moving, obviously, you know, and on you, and you're surrounded by them. So you've killed almost half of them.
Okay.
And you're still close. But they don't. I mean, they're trying to bite you, but beyond that, they don't. You know, there's no other. Like you can still move and everything. You just have spiders all over you.
I'm going to 5, and I'm gonna get out of this room. Actually,
you can make it to the door.
I'll stay by the door,
okay.
And I am going to also do a bonus action. I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration on big guy Norak over here.
Okay.
And
so untarget spiders, so you don't give them inspiration.
I feel like they're untargeted.
Yeah, they are.
Alright.
You can see your targets in the combat tracker. It'll say targets, and right now it says targets Norak.
Yeah. Alright. We're gonna give him Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
And that.
There you go.
There we go. And I'm gonna tell Norak to let him know. I'll be like, "Hey man, I'm gonna help you out here." I'm gonna tell him a spider joke as well.
Did you Google something?
Yeah. So never mind. I'm just gonna say, go ahead, big guy, kill those fucking spiders.
Was the joke too lame to even repeat?
Oh, they're so bad.
Oh,
they're all so bad.
All right, that it for your turn.
Yeah, that's it for my turn.
All right, Artemis' turn.
I'm gonna come to about here. Look at spiders, move a tiny bit back, and I can't really do anything without hitting teammates.
You could potentially fire over Pogo's head, but you'd have to be closer to the doorway. Or you could, help pull Pogo out of the doorway if he was trying to get out of there.
Okay, well, I'll try shooting over his head.
You do see Pogo covered in spiders. You could help kind of.
Yeah, you could help me.
Yeah, like you could, because you see him like in place. He ran to the doorway while smashing these spiders off of himself. So I mean, you could help smush those.
Okay, I'll try shooting near him.
Try doing what?
Shooting the ones near him. I'm not going near those things.
Okay. I mean, they're.
I'm just gonna yell for.
They're on him, swarming him. So shooting him, probably not. I mean, you'd have to pretty much get an.
How about this? I yell at you. Can you help me with these spiders? Then she pulls out her bow, and I'm like, not like that, not like that. No, never mind.
You could. That one you do see is in the back. There is writhing around, and it would be laughing. Rolling around on its back and laughing, but you can't really tell. It just looks like it's not moving, or it's not moving. Other than that, it's basically just kind of squishing around in place. Because it's at range and he's prone. You had disadvantage on the shot, but with its legs up in the air and kind of kicking them around, the arrow goes straight between the legs, doesn't hit any of it, and then hits into the wooden wall behind it. Roll a d20 or roll a d100 for me. You remember how to do that?
No.
Right-click on the d10, so third from the left.
Okay.
And then the percentage symbol in the top left. You want to roll very high on this. Well, just not too low on this. Because you just shot a fire arrow into some wood. Okay, that's high enough. So, the wooden arrow, the fire arrow is stuck in the wall and still glowing, but it doesn't appear to have caught the wood on, or caught the hole on fire. But there's an arrow stuck into the wall above the spider who's still kicking its legs up in the air. Any bonus actions?
Nope.
Okay. The swarm is going to continue trying to bite at Pogo. Oh, hang on. It has advantage now, too, so... We're being swarmed. but missed. It's continuing to try to bite you. Like all of the spiders are trying to bite you, but they are between, like just biting into clothing and stuff like that. Which is
Good thing I wore pants today.
where you go swinging at them like half the time, like you would normally just swing them off just by their own weight alone, but their fangs are bit into your clothing and still holding on from that. That is it for its turn. It is Norik's turn. You guys made this a little bit boring with the big guy, or the big, real bad guy being incapacitated at the moment.
Okay.
You guys just love ruining my fights. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. And when I look over, the big odd-looking one still seems like it's preoccupied, right?
Yeah, it is still kicking around. It's on its back now, and its legs are up, like a spider looks when they're dying, basically. Like if they're poisoned or anything, and it's kicking its legs in the air.
I will not even pay attention to him then, and see if I can take care of this other spider that's hanging out with me.
You'll have to step into the webs a little bit to not hit Samson.
Okay.
Like step onto the corpse a little bit of the other one. There you go.
Okay.
It hits.
Sweet.
Oh, sorry, Fox. I can't help it when it's fucking classic RPGs. I try to whistle along to them, and I can't whistle, so it sounds like shit.
Can't whistle?
I mean, I can, but it's very monotone and very high pitch, so it gives Fox a headache. so I try not to do it because it's like, especially if she's already got a headache, it's pretty bad. But I can't, I don't do it on purpose, but just from playing, classic RPGs as a kid, like I would just whistle along with the stupid battle music like this. It's a habit. You swing it again? Alright. Also hits.
Okay.
He looks
It's the
pretty...
Norak show.
Yeah, go ahead. Nope. Yeah, that's not. So you cleave through the second one as well. They're both slumped in puddles basically on the floor, leaving the large one still in the corner there. Is that it for your turn?
Yep, I'm just gonna move there, so I'm in between kind of in between Pogo and Samson there to try to intercept the big guy if he moves. So
okay. All right, both of these guys. I'm gonna take them off of the tracker so that they're out of the way. But you do know there's two very large spiders in the corner there. All right, he gets to try to make a save again. Yep, he breaks out of it. You see, you can go ahead and remove the concentration effect, so you're not wasting your concentration slot.
Okay.
But it stops its odd chittering, and it stands up, and you see the kind of tentacle-like head swing left and right, like it's like it's clearing itself. Actually, he couldn't because that's the end of his turn. That would be it for him. It's Samson's turn. Samson turns and see him kind of standing up, but doesn't know whether to react or what to do with it yet. So he's just kind of prepared for it.
That's not what I wanted.
Scurrying up the... Oh, you can just take it off, not gonna do anything. Scurrying up the stairs is another swarm that immediately rushes over Norak's feet and starts climbing up his legs and is going to attack Norak. With a 20, which does hit. For 7 piercing and then 3 poison. Sarah's turn.
I cannot get a clear view of the big spider, can I?
Correct. Norak is definitely blocking it. The mast is actually in the way too. The mast here is not broken off. It's broken off when it gets through the roof, basically, up on the forecastle. Yeah. But you can see over Pogo and see Norak. You see that both of them are covered in spiders and like writhing. You gave the broom to Arteme? You didn't have the broom on you?
Yeah, no, Arteme had the broom.
Okay.
So... crap. Alright, we will try... Ray of Frost then, I guess, on this swarm of spiders.
You will definitely hit Pogo as well. Like, they're not separate from him. They're actually on him. I just put the tokens to the side so that they can still move themselves. There isn't any way to hit those spiders without also... I mean, other than, by hand, kind of smashing them.
I can't get close enough, so I will just hold a Chaos Bolt for if I get clear view of the big guy up there.
Okay. Give me a memory check on Sarah. It is Pogo's turn. Still covered.
Great.
And you
Still covered in spiders.
Yeah, not with that roll.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna move to the side. Actually, hold on. Do this. That's not gonna help.
They're not impeding you beyond biting at you.
Behind trying to hurt me, yeah.
Yeah, and so far they've been ineffective at that.
I gotta figure out how this... Alright. I'm gonna go ahead, Tasha's Hideous Laughter worked pretty well.
Okay.
And I don't think I need, like, a line of sight for that spell.
Let's see. That you can see.
No,
and
that I
within
can see.
Yeah.
Can I see him through Norak, or should, probably not too well, huh?
What you could see would be pretty much blocked by the mast, the ship's mast, and then the table that he's kind of on top of, or half on top of. He hasn't stood back up yet.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and recast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay.
And let's see, I'm gonna say...
He succeeded. He got an 18 plus 3, and that's actually...
All right.
He has advantage on it too, but he got a 20.
And I'm gonna say, what do you get when you cross spiders and corn? Cobwebs!
God damn it. I knew you would come up with like dumb puns, or that you would find like a list of dumb puns and that kind of stuff.
I can't remember on this one. Did I roll for attack or I just effect?
Well, he succeeded, so it doesn't work.
Oh,
Unless
he succeeded.
Yeah, it's a success. He got an 18 plus 3 is a 21 versus your 16. Is there any effect? Yeah, on success spell end, so it didn't do anything. Mark off your spell slot. Any bonus actions?
Yeah, I'm actually going to do one bonus action. Quick. Spell slot. Actually, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration again on Samson, since he's like right there.
Okay. So now both Samson and Norak have inspiration on them?
Yep.
It looks like, did you accidentally delete the concentration effect out of Talking City's Laughter?
Yeah, I clicked that thinking that would disable the concentration. I didn't realize I actually deleted it out of my spell area.
I'll fix it.
Alright.
I'll put it in my notes to fix. Alright. Okay. So, and then you throw out your inspiration to Samson. Any movement? Any more movement? I guess you moved over...
I think that's 5, 10.
Yeah, well, it would be 10
That's
feet.
about it.
Like 5 feet more.
Oh, in that case, I'm gonna get a little back behind Norak.
Okay. Alright, then it is Artemis' turn. Doorway is now clear. And the spider is no longer, you can just barely see like legs, essentially. It is no longer kicking in the air. Oh, she went AFK a minute ago, so give a second here. We'll come back to her as soon as she's back. I'm gonna hit a ready check so that I know when she's back. So you guys can just hit ready on that, and I'll know when she gets back from there. The swarm that is on Pogo is going to continue to bite him, or attempt to do so anyways. Jeez, fucking 3. Nothing. Keeps trying to bite you. Nothing.
I'm immune to spiders!
Alright, it is Nork's turn.
Okay.
You got a swarm on you that is attempting to bite you. And then the big spider in front of you has stopped kicking and looks like it's about to attack.
Alright, I will... well, actually, what I'm going to do is see if I can just get the swarm off of me, so bash them up as much as I can. Stop, drop, and roll, something like that.
Okay. Go ahead and attack the swarm.
Okay.
Fox, it was your turn. We'll skip back to you here in just a second.
Oh, okay.
You have no idea how
And I have...
to not accidentally whistle.
Fuckers. I'm gonna bash you real good.
What was that, a crit or a...
A 20.
fail? Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Alright, Justin, I have fixed Hideous Laughter for you.
Gracias.
Die, bastards.
Alright, you just go Kung Fu style and smashing all these giant spiders all over yourself, so now you just got this, this like lotion of dead spiders all over yourself.
Cool.
They are toasted. You still have your movement, second attack if you're going to attack, and then any bonus action.
Okay.
Actually, a second. Oh, never mind. No, your second attack would be separate from your bonus action. You're level 5, so.
So I will see if I can whack a big dude over here.
Okay.
Since he stood back up.
Get him, Norok!
As soon as you approach him and see, don't roll yet. As soon as you get close, it's well, you know what? He hasn't stood back up yet. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay.
He's still prone, so you're gonna have you'll have advantage automatically.
Haha.
Natural 20 again. God damn it! All right. Well, no special effect. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. And I'm going to use my Tribal Fury as well.
Okay.
And it's a 10, right? Yeah. Die, asshole.
You bring the axe down into its like leathery neck, this kind of tentacle-y kind of a neck, and it cleaves off like a fillet of it, like a chunk off the side of it, that just splots off, and you see it as soon as it comes down and you brought your axe down toward it, it lands onto the table, this chunk, and it's writhing around itself like a separate entity on the table. That was your second attack, so go ahead.
Yeah.
So that's it for your attack.
And
What else are you doing?
That will... I'm actually just going to wait where I'm at, so that's it.
Okay. It kind of flips itself right side up as soon as you've taken that chunk out of its neck. It flips itself right side up, and you see it begin to get blurry. The shape around it blurs. It'll be harder to hit, basically, is what you're gathering, because it looks like it's moving when it's not, or you wouldn't be able to tell necessarily. And it is going to. It's going to get 2 attempts here. Give me a wisdom save. It's looking you in the eyes, and you can tell that it's trying to do something. Give me a wisdom save on Norok. And Norok isn't the most wise. What's that?
Is it on the table?
It's basically like half on the table. Like its front couple of legs and its neck are above the table now.
I can't see it over Norok then.
Correct. Well, Norok is like standing against basically between Norok and the mast. You can't see him, no.
There's a mast in the way?
Yeah, Norok is standing kind of. He's actually shouldn't be able to be right there. He's basically there. That mast is right next to it. This is the mast right here.
Can I use the inspiration on it?
Yeah, you can. After, yeah.
So just roll it.
Yeah. Does it work on saves, Justin?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yep, saving throw.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you can use Pogo's Bardic Inspiration to help yours. So basically, you're going to roll a Wisdom save and add a D8 to it. All right. That'll definitely succeed. So go ahead and mark off your we'll take the inspiration effect off. You remember how to do that?
Okay. Yeah, just on the combat tracker, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Under the effects window.
Sweet.
All right. Then, seeing its attempt is unsuccessful, you see its front two legs kind of twirl together, almost like hands in front of it, and creating this arcane sigil in the air in front of you. And it is going to do something very not nice for all of you guys. A sphere that is kind of, in fact, I'll drop the sphere on here, between all of you, kind of almost in front of the, just basically just in front of the door, appears and then grows out to a 20-foot radius of blackness and just bitter cold. And it kind of fills this whole area surrounding you to where you can't see through it, and all you see are stars and kind of the dark space between the stars. I'll drop the token on the map here for representing the space here. It could potentially be difficult for you guys to move yourselves, so if we need to, I'll move the token as needed. But he drops it there, encompassing all of you inside of this space here. What happens when he first drops it? No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area, and creatures within the area are blinded. It's difficult terrain, which most of it already was. If you start your turn in the area, well, basically, I'll warn it to you this way: that staying inside of that space is going to be dangerous, and it'll be hard for you to get out because it's difficult terrain. So keep that in mind.
So does this count as double difficult terrain or just the normal difficult terrain?
It doesn't stack. So it's basically, for you were already in it, but for Sarah and Arteme, this sphere of what looks like space surrounds them, and they can't see further in or anywhere else, basically. So all of you can see each other, but beyond that, it's basically... Actually, I'm not sure if you're allowed to see each other or not, but in this case, it won't matter, at least at the moment. Samson, inside of it, you guys can hear each other, is similarly blinded, but you hear kind of a panic sound, and he is going to just rush forward, trying to get out of this, because it exploded behind him and kind of covered him. So he rushes forward to get out of it, and is going to attempt to swing at the spider creature here. The only one of you who may actually recognize what it is might be Arteme. Sarah failed her memory check on what it could be, so...
Is he using his Bardic Inspiration?
If he fails... he succeeded, actually, so he'll hold to it for now. Why did he have it... Oh, I forgot to take the prone effect off. Hang on. But he dropped an 11, which still would have hit, so he's okay.
Do I have to make a check to see if I know what the...
You haven't seen it yet, is the thing. You didn't come into the room, so you haven't actually gotten a good look at what it is yet. Otherwise,
right, okay.
Otherwise I would have you rolled to see if you knew what it was, so I could identify it off of here. But he did hit,
okay.
so which will be a concentration check on the spider creature to see if he holds his concentration. Natural 20. So the Sarah's turn.
Okay, so remind me again. So I lose that spell slot, right? That was within Chaos Bolt.
Yes. Actually readying the spell, I'm not sure. Let me check real quick. Because you readied your action, but it's basically preparing the spell. But I don't think since you didn't fully cast it, I don't think you actually lose it.
Oh.
Go ahead though. I'll let you know here in a second. You do lose a spell slot. It says when you ready a spell, you cast it as normal, but hold its energy, which you release with your reaction when the trigger occurs. So yeah, you did.
Alright.
But now you are inside. You can hang on. It specifically, I think it says that even seeing through it, you wouldn't normally be able to. Sarah can see through magical darkness normally too. Part of her class ability. But let me see if you can actually see through this or not. Because it's not really darkness, it's something else. Any creature... Yeah, you're considered blinded when you're inside of it anyways. Oh, sorry, you started your turn inside of it, so... this is where things get nasty. Inside of it, you can't see anything at all. You are completely blinded, which is very strange for you because, of course, you're used to being able to see in utter darkness anyway. But you feel things brushing against your legs, your arms, your neck, tentacle-y kind of things. And you need to make a dex save and beat a 14. Okay. So you feel them trying to restrain you, but you're kind of able to shrug it. Oh, you would have had advantage actually on that anyways. But you kind of shrug away from it as much as you can. But you do, as they're touching, you feel the cold kind of tentacles brushing against you.
All right. Well, can't see anything, but I know Arteme is like right next to me.
Yeah, you can still feel that she's next to you. You can feel the heat from her next to you. You can't see her.
Okay.
You are considered blinded.
Then I'm just gonna reach out and touch her and cast Mage Armor on her.
Okay.
And then I am backing up.
Okay. You did see the direction that it exploded from, so you would know how to move out of it. It was difficult terrain to move through the first part, so I mean you had enough to get to where you are. You are outside of it, and from the outside, it looks like a sphere of darkness similar to what you're used to. There's just little star specks inside of it. You don't see any of the tentacle things.
Alright, I'm just gonna stay right there then.
Okay, and you are no longer blinded. So. Alright, it is Pogo's turn. You are
Great.
inside of this. Now you are similarly hitting by feel these... shit.
See, the difference is I kind of like it. I kind of enjoy this feeling.
Gross. Go ahead and give me a dex save. You have to beat a 14. Natural 20, okay.
Wow.
So you feel them trying to wrap around your ankle, and you yank your foot away. But it's Sarah did not end her turn inside. Okay, if you end your turn inside, there's another effect. So go ahead. What are you doing?
Well, let's see. I don't really have much of a choice. I'm gonna feel around on these stairs, since I know there's stairs there, and just get as up to the close of the stairs as I can.
Okay.
That's about as far as I can go. Am I in or out?
Yeah, you can make it to the edge. You can pass your head through it. You're basically half in, half out.
All right.
I would say that you're no longer blinded by it, but you're still going to be inside of it as far as the effect if you have to end your turn there.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on this big dumb spider.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell him that his webs wouldn't even be strong enough to catch a housefly.
Well, they caught you guys with it.
Little bastard.
Alright, go ahead and target him and cast it off.
See if I hit.
Beans.
He failed. You got a 10 plus 3. That's good for you.
Yeah, he failed.
Yeah.
When you say he, I don't know if you're talking about me or the spider sometimes.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, damn it! Alright, so let's do that. And that.
And he needs to make a concentration. Natural 20, so twice now he's got natural 20s on succeeding on keeping his concentration up. And then, yeah, you did the disadvantage. Okay, cool. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah, so that only did half damage?
No, he failed. It did the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah. It's good for you. You want them to fail, you don't want them to succeed.
Okay, got it.
Okay, but while you're still inside of it, the tendrils keep kind of brushing against you and trying to pull you back in.
Sexy.
For a bunch more damage. Since that's the edge of it, I'll have to drop it on you on the combat tracker. There you go. For 18 acid damage. Brushing against you.
Can I use my cutting words reaction on that? Or is it because it's
reduced damage? Is that what
yeah, within 60 feet makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a damage roll. I can use my reaction to use one of my bardic inspiration, rolling a bardic inspiration die, and subtracting the number rolled from the creature's roll. Can I do that on the
yep, you totally can.
Initial
it's a spell effect, but yeah, you can. So it would still count. So it did 18 damage. So go ahead and roll your bardic inspiration, and it will remove that much of the damage off of how much it did to you.
Okay. Do I target myself?
Well, actually, in this case, you're just going to roll a d8, and I'm going to subtract the math off of it for
Got it.
you. D8 is third from the right.
Oops. Did that go?
No. Pick it up and throw it in the chat box. It has to land inside. There you go. Nice.
What the hell?
All right. No, you did it right.
Got another one.
It rolled a d8, so you just rolled it once on this side. If it doesn't land in the chat box, it doesn't count. Like, I can't see anything to roll outside of the chat box. So, all right, so 7 would make 17. So you shrugged off a good amount of the damage that the acidic tendrils were burning into your skin. It is Artemis' turn. You felt Sarah's hand on your left wrist, and then felt your kind of a hardening of your skin, and you're now able to move and everything. But you did feel like you're at least protected a little bit more than you had been.
Okay. I'm going to move back because I can't really hit it without hitting Norrock or the.
Well, you can't see anyways, so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move back.
Okay.
This might end real bad. Serves me right for going and looking at a map.
The swarm is still trying to bite. Actually, never mind. Sorry, the swarm technically is still on you, so it's still ending its turn inside of the acid part, the second part. So it might kill the swarm. Let's see. It did. So as you're kind of still being pulled back in, as the tentacles inside of the sphere are trying to pull you back inside of it, you feel spiders smashing and squishing against your skin, where the tentacles are like smashing them into your legs.
And then getting burnt by acid.
Yeah, and then they're just like popping all around you.
Thank God for small miracles.
So those the spiders are all dead. It is Norrock's turn. You are inside of this sphere of blackness. You can't see anything at all.
Okay.
Except the stars around you.
Alright, so when I saw it popped up, I would have known the guy was still in front of me, so there's probably not space up there to step in front of that table anyway, huh, in Pogo?
The table in front of you, like, you can't see it to even try to step up onto it. You can attempt to climb up to it, but it would be a disadvantage for sure because you can't see it. But also, just when you started your turn inside of this. And, there we go. You feel the tendrils trying to wrap around your legs and sink into you. They're very cold, and did 11 damage. So go ahead. So you can try to step up onto the. You knew that the table was there, but stepping up onto it, you know, when you can't see anything at all, is going to be very difficult.
All right. Yeah, but I knew that was there, so I'll probably try that anyway if I can.
Okay.
So what?
Athletics check with disadvantage.
Which should even me out.
Yeah, because you'd have advantage from your rage, so I guess it'll be a flat check for you. You feel your way forward, and kind of with your free hand still holding Vulcan and your right hand preparing to swing, and you feel the edge of the table enough to kind of get a knee up onto it, and then you're tall enough to really just, you know, could lift your foot up and just stand on it, lift yourself up. As soon as you stand on the edge, you feel your head peek up out of the sphere itself.
Okay.
It did take your movement. It take 10 feet of your movement to do that for a different.
Okay. And then when I look, is there a space for me to jump on the left or the right side of the table, in between the side of the ship?
It'll be close. Yeah, I mean, there's space. It's just a matter of, you know, how much room you're gonna have to move.
Okay.
You can.
So
I mean, you'll be there. They're just like you won't be able to move except going back into the sphere.
I just accidentally moved the bubble. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like the sphere is going to be a little bit hard, so go ahead and move yourself, and then I'll put it back.
Okay. I was just going to see if I can get myself up over here. So off the table and in between, because that would have been out of the sphere.
Yeah, you'd have to move through him to do it. I'd say, I mean, you're staying inside it. Well, actually, there you'd still be inside anyways.
I moved it on accident. It's not supposed to be that high.
It was right here, though, wasn't it?
No, back a little further.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it was halfway in Pogo. There we go. Okay, yeah.
Something like that.
It was
Yeah.
actually a little
Well,
further
Pogo-
back because my head was there.
Well, I mean,
He
that's,
was out of
that's- Yeah, that's basically.
I was
where the-
halfway out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're halfway out. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so Norak, you make it out of the. You basically stand up off of the table, see the kind of the area of the sphere, and then just jump to the side to get off of the side of the table and outside of the sphere.
Okay. Now that I can see if I can whack Homeboy over here.
He is blurry, and you're gonna have disadvantage on the swing.
Okay. Even though I'm out of the thing. Oh yeah, because he did something else to himself.
He blurred
Yeah.
himself first. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like a blurry 5-foot spider is still going to be easy to hit.
I hope so.
It's supposed to be more of a disorientation kind of an effect. It's just represented as blur, is what it's called. Is the spell. Make sure you click the disadvantage in the bottom left corner, 2G. And then it'll be a flat roll because of your reckless attack. Still hits. Go and roll your damage.
Yay.
See if he can succeed on his concentration or not. Uh, 22. He'd have to beat a 12. You got a 13. Succeeds.
Oh!
Ding.
You got an 11 plus 2. Alright, we gonna hit him again?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks more than bloody. You've hacked into the same spot, so it's almost like trying to chop down a tree. You know, you keep hacking the same spot where you pull the chunk out that is still writhing on the table, by the way. And like you're almost halfway through the neck. Like it looks like you're gonna hit spine soon. You feel like.
You can do it! Cut his fucking head off!
Yeah.
Water Boy or something? What was that from?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Waterboy?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna use my my bountiful luck. So re-roll that one. Wait, was this a damage?
That's damage roll. Yeah.
Oh,
Not though.
Does it work
oh
on
no.
damage? I think it's only.
It works on
ability
attack
checks
roll,
and
ability
attack
check, or a saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
But he looks pretty badly wounded. He's still alive, but looks pretty badly wounded. The second
Cool.
one is low enough that I think he auto succeeds if it's less than a 10. But let me check just in case. They rolled a 15, yeah, so he still succeeds anyway. Alright.
Okay.
He spins towards you, and you see both. Let's see. He actually has Vicious Mockery too. That's cool.
Oh, crap.
Alright, both of its tendrils kind of lash out towards you. Its front, not tendrils rather, its front two legs lash out towards you, and as soon as they're moving through the air, the blurring kind of appearance gives them the look of tendrils, similar to its kind of neck. And it tries to kind of smack you with both of them. Make a strength save, and you have to beat. It's only a 14. Oh, hang on. 16 for the strength save. 19. All right,
Ooh.
so you succeed against
Oh,
it,
sweet.
but it'll be half damage anyways. Only 2d6 then. There you go. Of it. Oh shit! I dropped it on Samson.
It hit
Oh
Sam.
shit! You were. Okay.
Am I on Sam?
Yeah, you did. I didn't see the Samson was right there.
Ah!
That's actually my
Okay.
fault. So you actually kind of inadvertently smash into him and knock him into the wall. So he's gonna take some bludgeoning from being
Damn it.
pushed into the wall. That's only one. Okay.
Full damage.
Roll
I was
one
gonna say full damage.
Yeah. Of you kind of crashing into a normal human size and bashing him into the wall. He's
Sorry,
now out of
Sam.
the way, but
Just blame it on this crazy tendril ball.
Yeah.
Couldn't see, bro.
then I think he's gonna Eldritch Blast you as well since you're in his way. Which hits. Wait. Yeah, he only did one, right? Yeah, right. Only 3 damage, but it knocks you back. So you actually get knocked back into Samson again, a little bit, and back into the sphere a little bit.
Ah,
So knocked back there. Samson is just outside of it. But that's it for his turn. It is Samson's turn. Since you were pushed into him, technically you should be. Whoops. You should be. Right, like here. So like half in there. He won't really be able to get around you without going into the thing. But he's going to take the damage from being inside of it initially, anyway. There we go. and he's going to try to he's trying to push himself flat against the wall to get out of it as best he can. Sarah's turn. Becky?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, well, since I can't see anything through this sphere, for my sorcery points, can I do more than one spell slot? Or is it one spell slot per action, or bonus action?
To convert them?
Yeah.
I think it's only one, but let me look. It looks like at least the other way is only one. Into one spell slot as a bonus action on your turn.
Okay, then I'm just going to use 2 of my sorcery points. Dang it, I put the same one again. There we go. Okay, so 2 sorcery points, and get first level spell slot back.
Okay. So you're not burned out from your mage armors?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it for your turn then?
Yeah, I can't say anything. So.
Yeah, this was unfortunate placement, sure, because you guys are kind of split in half from this. Pogo starting half in it again. You will take a little bit more of the cold tendrils burning your leg.
Sure.
If I can find that effect again. There it is. There you go. You are half inside of this bubble of these space tendrils. What are you doing?
Do I have to roll? Is it going to try to damage me, or?
What do you mean?
Obviously. Well, I just thought me being in it at the beginning of my roll caused damage, or at the beginning of my turn.
Yeah, I did. That's what that 8 is. I just did it for you.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. It did
All right.
damage against you, so you have 15 hit points left. Before you get
Fun times. All right. Oh boy. I can still see the big spider, and he looks pretty beat up, right?
He looks pretty bad. Well, I mean, yes, he looks badly injured. There's a big chunk taken out of its neck that is oozing a viscous, like kind of a yellowish liquid that's probably some kind of a blood onto the table there. It does not have. It's not focused on you at the moment. If you can hit it hard enough, it will potentially lose its concentration, and that sphere would go down.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure if Norak couldn't do that.
Well, he didn't roll very
Doubtful.
well. Norak's rolls were really shitty compared to his usual.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and. I can squeeze right up in here, right? I'm a little guy.
Yeah, there's plenty of room for you to move up there.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just attack him right in the butthole
With your rapier.
with my rapier.
All right.
Do I have multiple things targeted? No. The one.
Just a spider. Yeah.
Okay. So first I rolled to see if I hit.
Natural 1. Wait,
What?
no, hang on.
10 plus 7?
Oh shit, I was scrolled up. I saw natural 1 from the spiders. Oh, the spiders. When you tried to put the disadvantage on him to attack, he rolled a natural 1 to save against that. I was rolled up too high. All right,
Okay.
17 hits.
All right. Oh,
Let's see.
right in the butthole.
Okay, you hop up behind him and jab into with your rapier into its spinnerets. And as you do, there's a squeal from this thing, and the neck spins around and looks at you with this malevolent fury. And the sphere behind you begins to shrink and disappear.
Yay! Also, what was my bonus action? I am going to do a bonus action also. I'm going to use Healing Word on myself.
Okay. Okay, well, that's a good roll. Oh, no, it's a shitty roll. You just have a good modifier.
Yeah.
Alright, is that it for your turn?
That is it.
Alright, it is Artemis' turn. The sphere in front of you has disappeared. The doorway is open. It's still filled with spider webs, of course, and you hear fighting coming from inside.
I guess that's the all of my movement. Yeah. So here to try and get a bit of a better view.
That's only 20. You have another... right here would be 20. You have 10 more feet.
Oh,
Inside is hazardous terrain, but you're not in hazardous terrain outside.
Okay, I'll just go like right here in the doorway and try and look.
The mast is in your way. You would need to step into the webs. So you can get to here, basically. Like, you can make it to there and get a shot at him. He has probably half cover.
Okay.
His AC is not really high, though. You could still potentially hit him because he's so big. With the blurry bead.
Wait, no, I've got something for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my bountiful luck.
Okay.
To let her roll again.
Okay.
On that. Do I have to click anything, or are we just gonna let her roll again?
That's it. Yeah. It's basically just rerolls. It just takes your reaction, so you won't have a reaction. Until you.
That's fine.
There you go. That one hits Fox. You shoot into the side of the neck, basically, of this eel-like head, with your fire arrow sticking out of it. Go ahead and apply the fire damage too.
How do I apply the fire damage?
Under your fire arrow, you'll see the.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? Flame arrows. Okay, that actually just adds a d6, is what it's supposed to. So you would normally have that effect on yourself.
Okay.
You actually just put it on him, but just roll a d6 for me, and I'll add the damage to it for you.
D6.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry, which one's
d6, second from the right. The regular dice shape cube. There you go. Nice.
Oh yeah!
So she rolled max damage. She hit and then rolled max damage afterwards. It would have been a miss otherwise. So, okay. Oops. That arrow, you see where it's caught into the neck of this thing. There's this fine hair that you can't really see from this distance. That seems to have caught a light and is burning around the wound where the arrow sunk into its neck. It is very close to death. It doesn't look like it's going to survive much longer, unless it escapes.
Fuck that. We're killing this thing.
Go ahead and you can give me a memory check now, Artem, and you can do it with advantage too.
What's a memory check? I don't see anything that says memory on anything I have.
I probably forgot to put it on your skills. Natural 20. This thing is called a Nyogi. There you go.
Okay.
Does that...
Artemis specifically would know what that is.
Okay.
What?
Oh, nothing. I think it's funny when you're like, this is a Nyogi, and then you stop talking, like, alright. Oh yeah, that one.
Well,
got it.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else would know what it is necessarily. Artemis, no, I just identify it on the thing to make it easier for everybody.
Oh, do you send her like a thing of what it actually is?
No, if you in your combat tracker, you'll see the name changed.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, the reason that I do, well, for a couple reasons. One, if later on, like multiple sessions from now, if I have to refer back to, remember when you guys fought that spider thing, and you're like, what fucking spider thing? Because I have to give you a specific description of what the thing is every time. Instead, I could just say Nyogi, and you'll know what it is. But narratively, the characters would only know if Artemis tells them in this particular case.
Got it.
Because Sarah could have potentially read about them, but failed her memory check, so wouldn't have remembered if she did. But Artemis does remember what they are, because she rolled a natural 20. So, what were you? Any bonus actions then, Fox?
No, but can you tell me what this is?
I'll give you some notes real quick. I didn't have anything typed up for you, but just so that you know what they
okay.
are. I may type up more after the session so that we don't spend too much time on it, because otherwise I'll need to type up a bunch of stuff. So I'll just put it in my notes, and I'll send it to you in Discord afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. Is that it for your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then Norok.
Oh, wait, quickly. Is there any weaknesses?
Not.
An axe to its neck seems to be pretty good.
Fire arrows seem to be good. It doesn't seem not anything specific that stands out from what you know about them. Your understanding. You've never seen one before. Your understanding of them is only because of kind of relic hunting type things that you've heard about them but never seen them before.
Okay.
You do know that they're very extremely intelligent and create mind slaves. They try to enslave others to do their work for them. All right, what are you doing, G?
See if I can finish off homeboy. Good thing I added it.
Yeah, well, I mean, go ahead. You cleave back into the same spot of the neck where you had been hacking away at, and sever it off the rest of the way. The head spins in the air and then flaps into the table. Where the chunks had been, and it's continuing to writhe around, and its eyes are still focused on you.
Oh crap!
All right. Do I still have my cloak on? So I'm just going to take it off and throw it over the head so it can't look at us.
Okay.
Or just grab something to throw over the head, some kind of tarp or something around, something like that, and throw it over the head to where it can't look at us.
Did you have the cloak that billows on its own? Is that the one that you're wearing?
No,
that's
Seraphina
mine.
has that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the evasion cloak? No, Arteme has the elven. Oh,
I
you mean the
don't
bear?
have-
Yes,
I
you have the
have-
bearskin one.
Yeah,
Just
actually,
pick up one of these boxes and put it
Yeah,
over.
Yeah, I'll
Nora
stick it
had
over
the evasion cloak, yeah.
I thought you were wearing that, Fox.
No, I have the elven cloak.
Yeah, the cloak of Elvenkind. Yeah. So you have the elven cloak. Sarah has the red one that billows on its own. The only cloak that Norak would have is the bearskin one that you made, as when you first started the character.
Yeah.
You gave
So, let's do
the
that.
green one that you had, the Elvenkind cloak. You gave it to Arteme. So you're throwing
Oh,
the
so
bearskin
that-
one over it.
The one that had the gem on it that has
Yeah.
the...
Arteme's
Yeah.
wearing that, isn't she?
I thought so, unless she gave it back to me.
Well, check your inventory. You should have it attuned if it is. Yeah, you have the ring and the sentinel buckler, G.
Yeah, so it's not on me.
Yeah.
Okay, then just my other one, and then I'll just throw it over there for a night right away, and then I'll look and find something else to try to replace it with, like a tarp or something, just to
Okay.
cover the head and the eyes. So, take my cloak back.
Was Pogo grabbing a box?
Yeah, he's kind of panicking right now a little bit. He's nervous. He doesn't like that the head's still alive, so he's trying to find a box to put on it.
Okay.
But he kind of wants to get out of this room and take a quick break and discuss what just happened.
Okay. So, the room still being filled with spider webs. Samson kind of trudges his way through it as best he can, like walking through snow where you have to lift every footfall up very, very high, like knee raises almost, to approach. He says, "What was that thing?"
I'm gonna have to restart Fantasy Grounds.
Just doing that air message again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna back the hell up because this is just crazy.
You guys going out of the room then?
Well, I'm gonna back 20 feet away, and until I can hear what they're talking about over there.
Okay. What's Norak doing, G?
I am going to again just hang out right there and make sure no other parts of that spider try to move or fucking do anything.
Okay. Pogo grabbed a crate and threw it over. You pulled your cloak back off of it. You can hear it still flopping around inside of the box, like it's trying to move its way out, like it's hitting the side of the box, and the box is slowly edging towards the edge of the table. Like the tendril, the part of the head that you chopped off, is smacking the side of the box, and the box is slowly moving off to the side until it's going to fall off the side of the table.
All right, then I will hold the box down for now,
Okay.
and then
It's whacking the side of the box. You can feel the box trying to move underneath your hand. You're just have enough weight on it to keep it from moving. I mean that's basically what you feel like. You might be able to put more weight on it. If you stacked another crate on top or something of that sort, maybe.
While Norak is holding it, can I try to communicate with the head?
How so?
Just maybe intimidate it and yell at it and tell them, what's going on here, and just tell them we'll let you go if you tell us what's going on. Try to get some information out of this dumb head of a spider.
Okay. Roll a. Well, okay. I guess, are you trying to intimidate? You're trying to persuade?
I'm trying to intimidate it. I'm trying to let it know that, hey, we're gonna kill you unless you start being cool, man.
Be cool, man.
Start being cool, or we're gonna just slice you into a bunch of pieces, and you're not gonna come back from that.
Okay. Go ahead and. This is gonna be. There's a potential weird.
Well, I still don't even know if this speaks a language that.
Yeah,
that
you
can
don't know
understand, right?
yet. I do, but go ahead and make your attempt. So if it's going to be an intimidation, roll an intimidation. Did I change intimidation for you to charisma? I think I did, right?
Yes.
Intimidation, charisma. Good. Okay. Go ahead and roll that when you're ready.
Oh, dang it.
The roll would have been a very high DC anyways. I'll tell you, extremely high. In fact, it would be like deadly level of 30 would be the DC.
Oh.
Because you're trying to communicate something that is kind of outside of your understanding necessarily. But you do say that when you try to talk to it, it stops moving.
Okay, so it understands me probably.
You get the maybe, but okay, this is going to be a little bit strange, and you're going to be the only one that's going to see this. So I'm going to whisper it to you, not in Discord, obviously. But here, I'm just going to whisper. Everybody else, just cover your ears. I'll send you the message in Discord, and then I keep forgetting to have you make the got it message too. But here, I'll just have a word this here.
In the meantime, can I sit on the box? Is that going to be enough weight? I know I'm only 40 pounds.
Even Norok's just putting his hand on it is keeping it from moving off the side.
Okay.
But it stopped moving as soon as you tried to talk to it.
Got it. I'm still going to sit on it just to be safe. Are you putting this in just Discord chat?
No, it'll be in Fantasy Grounds.
Okay.
I'm just typing it still.
Got it. I guess in the meantime, I would just be asking everyone if anyone has any ideas on what's going on right now. So I'm kind of freaking out.
While you're sitting on a box with the squid head or with the tentacle head thing.
Yeah, this is all pretty crazy, guys. This crazy ferret head attached to this giant freaking spider's freaking me out.
All right, you got that, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. There you go. And
all right.
And what you heard there, you are sure that it didn't come from this thing. It's almost as if when you spoke this out loud, trying to communicate with it, somebody else was responding somewhere else on the ship, or below you, anyways. You don't necessarily know if it's on the ship or not, but it almost feels like it wasn't responding to you as much as you overheard thoughts of something else.
So I'm going to immediately...
Potentially later, but you would probably...
Yeah, I'm going to immediately tell everyone, I'm going to be like, all right, listen, guys, this is going to sound crazy, but something in my head just said... I think it's coming from somewhere else on the ship. It says, he wants it, so I locked it away. I don't know what that really means, but does anyone have an idea as to what that might mean? He wants it, so I locked it away. And it wasn't coming from this bastard, it was coming from something else.
Anybody?
I'm just gonna look over at Samson.
Yeah, he'd probably be the one to ask about that.
All right. Well, so you look at Samson, and Samson is kind of puzzled, like he doesn't know what's happening. You know what? Give me a persuasion check on Pogo to see whether Samson believes you. He may not believe you. Okay.
Oh, better.
He kind of squints and he says, "I don't know. I'm at a loss." But while this is happening, okay. Any response to that?
Yeah. So apparently you're not the only one hearing voices.
Right.
And then right after that...
Oh. I think Pogo thinks there's definitely something else on this boat. And he was originally going to want to say to maybe take a short rest, but now he's scared to relax.
Maybe you don't want to let your guard down?
Possibly not.
G?
Alright.
I am going to use one of my inspirations, though, to regain a first level. Yeah, I'm going to use inspiration to regain a first level slot.
Oh, okay, hang on. So those are two different kinds of inspiration. That's where it gets a little bit confusing. It's not your bardic inspiration that is going to do that. It's your inspiration. This is where there's two different kinds. So very top right corner, you'll see a little thing that says INSP.
I do not see that.
Top right corner of your character sheet.
I see it.
Right
Okay.
next to the token. Right now the circle's filled in. Just click it, and it'll spend your inspiration off, so you can get a spell slot back.
Okay. Do I just manually pull the spell slot back?
Yep. You uncheck that inspiration so that it'll go back, so that it's used.
All right.
So the circle will be empty, and then uncheck your spell slot as well.
Yep, did that. All right. So
all of you heard messages, or at least Sarah said. She didn't read. She didn't say out loud what was told to her. But all four of you got different things that were telepathically spoken to you at different times too. It wasn't all at once.
Am I the only one who's just letting everyone know?
So far, yeah.
All right.
As much as I don't want to, I will pull out the journal and tell them that I think it might be bottle.
Before you're even pulling that out, you all kind of hear these things, and Samson, after Samson was looking at Pogo sitting on the box there while the box is not moving anymore, and Samson kind of turns his head to the side like he's confused by something for a second, and then he says bottle. Then he looks back at you. He said, I think I heard something too.
Yeah, we kind of found this journal, and it's really weird, and I'm pretty sure he's still on the boat, and he's not quite himself anymore.
What do you... He's trying to walk through you again, having to lift, because remember, the webs are really dense around the floor, so he's lifting each leg up like he's walking through tall snow, kind of trudging his way over to you. He says, what journal is it? Is it Bottle's journal?
Yeah, I guess I'll hand it to him. Well, I will hold it out and show him. If he tries to take it, I guess I'll give it to him.
Okay. He doesn't try to take it from you. He just kind of, looks at it as you're showing it to you. He says, I used to see him writing in this all the time. And he's kind of looking at the last page. You show him the last page of the drawing. He says, I don't know what to do. We've got to find the thing and get out of here. This is dangerous. Arteme, you potentially could have recognized the drawing as well. You know what, I would say that the drawing that you saw wouldn't have brought any memories until you saw this Nyogi, and then there's kind of how one memory can kind of trigger another a little bit. Mm-hmm. Seeing the Nyogi here might have given you an idea of what that drawing could be. I'll say that it's probably like back of your mind, that it's something you might, with some thought, with some time to sit around and think about it for a minute, you might be able to kind of get it, but it's just too distant. Like it's ringing bells, but they're kind of distant, kind of thing.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm going to recommend that we put it in a box and throw it overboard. The head of this fucking thing.
Samson turns. He says, "That's a good idea. If you don't mind, I'll take care of that. I just don't want to risk you tripping in these webs here and knocking it back onto the floor or something."
That's fine. I mean, I'm tiny anyways.
That's my concern. I don't want you to fall into these webs and knock it onto the floor and have it, slither over these webs.
That is fair.
You do notice, by the way, that these webs are so thick that there could easily be other spiders and things hiding in the webs and you wouldn't even know. Arteme is specifically still standing outside of the room, by the way, Fox?
Yep.
Okay.
She's probably close enough at least.
I kind of really just want to really put all of these spider webs on fire to make sure there's nothing hiding, but at the same time, it's too risky.
It is a ship, so you're kind of screwed if you set this place on fire, especially because you at least need to recover the thing before you get out of here. But Samson comes up in front of you and grabs the crate. You guys basically spider, putting a box or a glass or something over a bug in the house, sliding a piece of paper under it, something like that to try to get rid of it. You put a crate over top of what is a pretty large chunk. It's a big eel's head basically. It's probably 10-12 inches in diameter, so it's a big chunk of meat that had still been moving, but he grabs it and kind of grabbing another piece of wood, slides it off and tries to use it as a lid and flips it over so that he's holding onto it, but it doesn't seem like it's moving anymore. You're not hearing it moving inside, and he kind of starts trudging his way carefully back out of the room and over to the side of the ship.
Good.
And you guys hear a splash outside. Arteme, you see him kind of walk by you. There's still the body, the spider, body basically is still there. and he kind of turns back. He says, "Well, I mean, we should probably hurry. I mean, we've at least if Bottle is here, I don't know if we can do anything about it. It doesn't seem like he's himself anymore. But you know, at least we know one that we're not alone here, so we need to move carefully, but we need to move swiftly and see if maybe anyone else has survived."
I'd like to ask the group if anyone can cast any kind of healing spell so we can heal up a little bit before we go down these stairs. Is that not an option?
I could use
Don't look at me.
healing word.
Did you burn your spell slots for Healing Spirit, Fox?
No. I have 2 more. It's just who's injured.
Pogo,
Norak is beat up pretty good. Pogo is similarly. They're both about half dead. Samson similarly about half dead, and Sarah has
Okay.
a good scratch as well.
I'll use healing spirit then.
Okay. All right. So you, everybody would probably come out of the room for simplicity's sake, but you guys all kind of stand in a ring around the spirit. I'm not going to bother putting a token on there, Fox, just to make it simple. You can heal everybody if you want to.
Okay.
I can actually just delete their wounds. What's that?
While I'm in here, can I see down these stairs? Are they blocked like the other set was?
No, this set, there are dead spiders all over it. But it is not... the other set, I mean, it's blocked in the sense that there's shit all over it, but you guys can move the debris that's all over it. It's basically just as the ship was rocking around, it seems to have kind of filled up a lot, like boxes and, broken furniture, things like that. So you could clear the other one. This one is relatively clear. It's just very thin.
should we go down these stairs or the ones on the other side of the ship, guys?
Well, the other ones are blocked by a bunch of debris.
Got it. All right. Tell you what, I am going to... I've got some nifty elven boots which let me sneak quietly and silently. I'll go ahead and be the first one to walk down here, and I'm going to try to sneak down as best I can. How's that sound?
Sure.
All right. How does this work now in the game?
You are going to make a stealth check.
All right.
Fox, how long does flame arrows last?
Let me check.
And I've also got elven boots which make me silent, so I don't know if that adds advantage or not.
Read me what they do real quick again. I know it's
Alright.
the boots of elven kind, or elven, yeah, the elven boots there. I think it's advantage on stealth, is that what it is?
Double check. Advantage on dexterity. It says dexterity stealth checks that rely on moving silently.
Okay, alright, then you would have advantage on that, so go ahead and roll stealth again, and we're going to take the better of the two. So whichever,
Right.
like, a 23 is already pretty high, but you could get a natural 20 or something on the other one too.
Flaming
we'll take
arrows
23.
up to an hour.
Okay, alright, so your flame arrows will still be up. Mage armor is 8 hours?
8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to clear the combat tracker for now. Whoops, not a long rest. There we go.
All right. Are we all ready to go in? This is what we're doing?
Well, you head
All
down
right.
the steps. You can head down the steps. Here, I'll move you over.
And then I'm guessing I can see something by the time I get to... Oh,
Well,
here we go.
When you move your way down the stairs, there are dead spiders all over.
Sure.
Just like curled up, like they've died, from lack of food or something. Maybe you don't know, but they're just all over the place, and you're like kind of carefully walking past without crunching them. And you see it comes around to a little corner. There's a broken shelf on the far right, like a hole in the floor and a broken shelf. Not a complete hole, but like a scaled hole. And then there's a passageway. It looks like it goes through like an open passageway. From there, you can actually, you'd be able to see more of the room here anyways. You'll be able to see out to here. You do hear more scurrying from in this room, though.
Can I... Let's see here. Can I slowly creep up to the edge? Will I have to do another stealth roll?
No, you're okay to...
Okay.
Here, on my side, I need to make a check here.
And I can't yell back at them yet because
Well, I mean,
that'll
you
ruin
could,
my stealth.
Yeah, but you could walk carefully, retracing your footsteps back to the base of the stairs to say, hey, it's clear down here or whatever.
Okay. I hear scurrying.
Yeah. You didn't hear it necessarily in response to what you were doing. You just heard, like, there's movement down here still.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go
Hang
right
on,
about.
hang on.
Oh,
Okay.
can I do,
What?
do I? Well, I'm not in action, so I don't need to use like hide or anything.
Well, that's what stealth is trying to hide. But the you as you pass through this space right there,
Sure.
you immediately step into what you know is an invisible web, like a web that's covering that doorway that you didn't see. You are immediately like trapped into it, and as you're pulling your arms like free, trying to pull yourself out of it, it's like it's wrapping around you even more. You are restrained.
Can I scream out to the other guys and say, "I'm stuck in an invisible web"?
You definitely.
This isn't good.
And everybody, give me initiative again.
It's a terrible idea.
You guys hear your new halfling friend Pogo get caught by something. You hear him scream up the stairs that he needs help.
Now, I originally told them to stay pretty close behind me, so would they still be where they're at, or would they be at least on the stairs somewhere?
What'd you guys do?
As soon as I heard him yell, I came running down.
Well, okay, before he went down the stairs, he said, keep close behind me. Would you have done so? What would you have done?
Oh, then I would have went with him, yeah. I just thought he was scouting, so... But I would have been with him,
There we go.
I would say they'd probably be at the stairs, yeah, right around there.
I'm gonna grab that encounter here.
Oh, initiative's terrible.
What's that?
Nothing. My initiative was awful.
Mine too. I had advantage. I got 83.
All right, from where Pogo is, and
By the way, I'm gonna yell at everyone that there's an invisible spider web or something holding on to me right now.
well, you're like in it. You're wrapped up inside of it.
Yeah.
And the more you fight, the more it seems to be wrapping around you. You're gonna have to, try to break yourself free or try to break out of it.
Sure.
You're restrained essentially by it. So, all right, then it is the spider directly across from you. As soon as you heard scurrying, and as soon as you get caught in this thing and start pulling away at it, like a spider feels, the web movement. It seems to react to that. I turned that on my phone. There we go. No, okay, that's why I hit the wrong one. No wonder it's still too loud. There we go. This one you see slink down off of the wall and immediately come scurrying towards you. And is going to bite. This one does not look quite as big as the others did up top. It looks a little bit smaller than that. But it has advantage because you're restrained and definitely hits. Give me a con save. You have to be an 11. It's not very high.
That didn't do anything.
Okay, you beat it, so you'll take half damage. And you don't suffer the other effects, so it didn't hurt all that much, but it bites into your leg where you're trying to kick out of this thing. And where you're kind of struggling against this, it's almost picking you up. The webs are almost picking you up off the floor as you're wrapping yourself up inside of it.
This can't be good.
This one, did I? Yeah. Another swarm comes scurrying around the corner towards you and is going to swarm around you as well. You are screwed.
I'm covered in spiders!
For 10 damage.
Oh, this is not great.
Yeah, this is already bad. Sarah's turn. Norok is kind of blocked. You because you can pass through him because you're small enough. What's that?
Yeah. I would say I can move through a creature one size bigger than I am.
Yeah. So since you're considered
luckily-
small, you can move through Norok.
You can probably see past me.
Samsung would probably be in front of me, just like,
Oh, just
I
because
just
you would
can't
be
move-
nervous about coming
yeah.
down here? Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
just can't move his token. I try.
I thought you guys could. I mean, not
No.
Alright. There we go. But he is still behind Norok anyway. Alright, so what's Sarah doing?
I can't see the big spider that's attacking him.
No, it bit him. It, like, how a spider will lunge forward to attack and then kind of step back? You know what I'm talking about? It basically did that. It kind of lunged forward and bit into his leg, and then retreated.
Okay. Then I'm going to take the foreboding knife, and I'm going to try to cut away the webs.
Okay. Hang on, I have the stats for the webs here. The webs that are surrounding Pogo here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. AC is 10, HP of 5. So just make an attack with no target. Speed of 10. 14. Okay. So you're basically you're successfully cutting into the webs. Go and roll the damage on it. Just enough. So you cut away the strands that are holding him in place. Pogo, you kind of fall like as soon as the webs are no longer attached to the ceiling where she was cutting, you fall down to your feet. Not knocked prone or anything like that, but you fall, 6 inches or so until your feet are on the floor again.
Yay!
Any bonus actions?
No, but I am going to step back over here.
Okay. Another swarm. They can't be swarmed by more than one, but they can move through other spaces. So you're pretty much all going to get a good swarming.
Good swarming.
But another swarm comes through the doorway and is climbing up Norok's legs, trying to bite him. Which misses. They're trying to bite through, but just can't seem to find a purchase on through the skin. Artemis' turn. This is like a fox nightmare right here.
Yeah.
Can I actually see any of them or anything?
You see the swarm that just ran up Norok's legs and surrounding him. Beyond that, no. You know what it is. I mean, you can tell by the chittering sounds and how big these things are. But beyond that, you can't actually see them so far.
I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Okay, so I can't actually see them on him?
You can see the spiders on Norok, yeah, just not any of the big guys.
Okay. Then I'd use, Shillelagh,
Okay.
and then, smack it with my staff.
Okay, you're gonna hit Norok?
No, the spider on him.
Well, yeah, but you can't hit those spiders without hitting him also.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And then I'll use light to blind them.
Okay. That's an interesting idea. Regular light?
Yeah, the cantrip.
Okay, alright. You cast that above him. Do me a favor and just roll a flat d. Roll another percentile dice. I like that. Where you've thrown this. Actually, you have to cast it at an object. What did you cast it at?
His cape?
Do you have to touch the object? Light. You touch one object that is, no longer than 10 feet in any dimension. So you couldn't do just a wall or something. You could potentially, like if you moved, you could either move up and cast it at something that Samson's holding, or potentially just walk up and touch, Norok if you can get past Samson, which you can.
Yeah, I'd put it on his cloak.
Okay. All right, then you'll have to walk up to him, like basically touching the spiders almost. But you touch his cloak, and it flares up with a. Hang on, Samson. There we go. Well, Samson's kind of. You're basically kind of shoulder to shoulder in that little spot there. But you touch him, his cloak flares up in light, and the spiders immediately scurry away from the cloak and around to like his front. You don't see them anymore. You don't know. They might be trying to escape. You don't know. But they're definitely they moved off of his cloak for sure.
Okay.
Is that it for your turn?
Yeah, I just take another step.
Okay. They don't.
So what'd I miss?
Arteme had the clever idea to cast light to try to scare them away, and she casted it on Norok's cloak. So Norok's cloak lit up with with like torchlight, and the spiders scurried away off of his cloak and towards his front. So you don't know. They might be trying to escape. You don't know.
Fantastic idea.
They can pass through as well, and the next unswarmed target they see is Sarah. So Sarah's going to get a good swarm in as well. Which, these guys, I don't know why they even bother. They have a +3 to the attack, but my rolls are just so shitty that nothing's ever fucking hitting. They keep trying to bite Sarah, but, you know, Sarah specifically is pretty well covered up, especially with the arm. So, you know, they're just biting into clothing. You hear more scurrying from around the corner as another large spider comes into view here. Again, these aren't quite as big as the ones that were upstairs, but, you know, still seem to be somewhat dangerous anyways. But he comes around the corner there. It is Norak's turn. You are covered in spiders, and you see Pogo in the doorway there who has just been cut free from the webs.
Okay.
You could probably jump over me. Oh, maybe not if the door was not big enough.
He could grapple you, which you would, you know, if you chose not to resist, he could basically grapple you to move you as one of his attacks. It's basically the type of attack.
Yeah.
So.
All right, then I will see if I can start bashing some little spiders. So the other ones went around. They're still on me, right? 13. They just went to the other side.
Well, no. So I just put them above your guys' tokens to make it simple. Because if I put them on your token, then you can't move yourselves without moving the spider. So yeah, they're actually on you. So you're just gonna go smacking all the spiders on you.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's 13.
Okay. I don't see 13 on the.
It's near the top. It's under Sarah.
I still don't see him, but I'll just drop it on this token.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, sweet. Fuckers.
Appendage blow. So I don't know how you're going to hit the
legs
of
off.
this thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and roll the damage on it.
Okay.
The special effect doesn't make any sense for that one, so we'll just ignore it.
You cut all the tiny spider's arms off.
Individually, bit by bit. Yeah, so you smash them up good. Well, you were using Vulcan technically, but that's the damage wouldn't be that high. It'd be but it's actually even still. Because it was a crit, it still would have been a D10, so you still would have smashed them all.
Okay. All right.
Unless you're hitting yourself with Vulcan, which is probably a bad plan.
Yeah. No. And then I will see if I can. Well, okay, so the spiders are actually on him, so can I try to hit the spiders on Pogo with my hands? Not with my...
Yep.
Okay. So unarmed?
Yeah, your unarmed strike, and the damage from that. That hits.
Okay.
You can... Yeah. Oh, you did. Yeah, 3. Okay. You smash them up pretty good. There's still a bunch of them left.
Okay.
You got a little, almost half of them. You're raging again? Okay.
Just to make sure.
Okay. Pogo, you are similarly swarmed. Oh, you're no longer restrained because you...
Yay! Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Serafina. Appreciate that very much. Okay. I'm pretty much over these spiders, and I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Okay. You're gonna try to blast these. Well, the swarm. The cube is in front of you, so it won't really hit the swarm that's on you.
Oh, it won't hit the swarm?
Well, I mean, maybe. You know what? I'll say that it could potentially do half damage to them because it'll only hit the ones that are in front of you, basically, because it comes out from you. It's not point blank area effect. It's a cube in front of you, so I would say that half of them could potentially be hit by it.
Okay, so let's do this. Cast. Oh, wait, that's not right.
Let's see.
What happened there?
You had yourself targeted instead of the spiders.
Oh.
But that's okay. I'll still use the roll. That's actually the one that failed anyways. Never mind, they all failed actually.
But I think, don't I get a... Oh, they all failed. I was going to say, don't I get a plus something different? No?
What do you mean?
Because doesn't it count towards my charisma? So it'd be 2 + 8. Just not right there.
No, it's the DC that we're talking about. So it's basically
okay.
the math for that is 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your charisma modifier, which is a DC of 16 for you. They would have beat a DC 16. They got a 12, a 4, and a 3. So they did not succeed.
Okay, so how
None
do
of them succeeded. So you would untarget yourself. So hold down control and click yourself. And then it's swarm number 3 in the combat tracker. But I can target it for you if you want.
Oh wait, let's see if I can do it now.
There you go, you got it.
Got it. All right, let's try that again. Now we're just doing for the damage?
Yeah, you already did the cast and they all failed, so. Okay. The spiders on you actually knocked away. You see just little spiders kind of flinging off of you at the wall, as well as the 2 big spiders getting knocked away and smashed into the wall back here. And the little guys, half of them get knocked off of you. Which one is that? 3 that's on you? Yeah. Where's 3? Actually, more than half as far as the damage is concerned. Because I didn't adjust. There we go. There you go. Okay.
All right.
So you've knocked them away. The big guys...
I'm gonna get out of the way, Norox, and go murder these guys.
Where are you going?
Oh, I guess I'm going into where this swarm is over here.
There's a corner behind you. You can back into that corner there.
Yeah, actually, that's probably a safer bet.
Okay. I'm gonna move this swarm here with you. But there's space enough. You do give me an investigation check, or give me a perception check rather while you're there. All right. And then the swarm in the corner, after that concussive blast, is scurrying. It's going to dissipate. It's going to scurry and break apart. The spider's just running around, trying to run. That is now Samson's turn.
Why'd I roll the perception check?
There's something shiny at your feet that you notice when you come rushing into the corner there. You're still covered in spiders. It's maybe not the best time.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it yet.
Samson's trying to kind of move his way past Norak and can't quite make it. So he's rushes up behind Sarah. He says, "I'm not trying to be rude about this." And he starts kind of smacking at your shoulders and at the back of your head. You get kind of a backhand almost as he's trying to smack spiders on you.
Did you guys know that if you glue a wasp to your hand, you're allowed to hit your supervisor in the back of the head as hard as you want and get away with it? It's a real life hack right there.
That's good to know. He does manage to hit him. It wouldn't be there. Hang on. For 4, so not a whole lot. Which one is on you? That's 6. He knocks almost half of them off of you, Sarah, smacking at the spiders there. All right. The larger one is, one of the larger ones, comes rushing around the corner again and is going to bite at Pogo, who is just trying to hide in the corner and smack spiders, but he misses, and he's going to, as soon as he misses, as soon as he tries to bite at you and miss, he backs away, and then...
Can I react and stab him with my rapier?
You haven't used your reaction yet, so you can make an opportunity attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So is that just like a normal attack?
Yep. 23, that hits. So it comes around the corner, kind of skids around the corner, and you feel both of its front legs kind of reaching forward towards you as it tries to snap at you, and you just poke and square like between the eyes, all 8 of its eyes into its head, and the body kind of shakes a little bit and then goes limp, and you pull the rapier back out.
Guys, did you see what I just did with this rapier? I just shoved it in the eyeball of this damn spider. This is crazy. This is a weird day. Weird day.
While you're doing that, the swarm of spiders on you is trying to take another bite. This fucking swarms have literally not hit once. Not one time.
I think they hit Samson because he's terrible at things.
They
hit someone.
Samson didn't get swarmed. Sarah's turn.
Okay, so
You were still swarmed about half the number of spiders that you had previously.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just gonna tell Samson thank you, and then I'm moving up here.
Okay.
And so I was looking at my cantrips, and they should have been updated, but they're not.
For level 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it should be 2d10. I'm gonna use Firebolt, but has one.
Let me fix it for you.
If I
That
hit
misses
it.
anyways. Let me add another D10 for you. You can actually update those yourself, but I'll do it for you. I always mean to. I forgot on this one. All right, that is now 2D10, so you're good there. If it hits, but it didn't. Is it 2 bolts? No, damage increases as you level. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So I will just back up over here then, I guess.
All right. I'm sorry, but I got to do it. Go ahead and roll a 100 for me. And you don't want to roll high. Or you don't want to roll low, I mean. You want to roll high.
Oh, I hope she doesn't fall through the floor.
Well, she just sent a firebolt into, thick webs on a wooden ship.
It's not there.
So the number was pretty low, but you, let's just say that you were awfully close to catching something on fire. You see the firebolt sailed above the spider and smash into the wall, but you're maybe 6 inches from where the webbing, like that sheet of webbing was, so you didn't manage to catch anything on fire.
Okay.
Okay, Artemis' turn.
I'm gonna cast light on Samson's sword.
Okay. He didn't need to make a... Wait, well, he's not trying to avoid it, so you wouldn't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't resist it, so...
Okay.
But now, basically, Norok's cloak and Samson's sword are both kind of... They're both in your direction, kind of. But this whole hallway is very brightly illuminated now, not just from the light from the open door above. Okay. Any bonus actions? Fox?
Sorry, yeah, is Healing Spirit a bonus? Let me check.
I think it is, isn't it? Or is it just to use it?
Yeah, it is. It's a bonus.
Yep, one bonus
So
action.
So I'll use that and then put it in front of them to heal them.
Oops. There you go. Go ahead and drop it wherever you want it to be.
About there. That would heal all the ones that are in the line of fire.
Yeah, as soon as they start their turn. So, if they're touching it, the spiders, if the spiders touch her, they would also get healed. So keep that in mind. So far they're not, but just if they walk through her space, then they would get healed at the start of their turn as well. I think they have to. Yeah. Well, actually, never mind. They have to start their turn touching her, but they wouldn't necessarily do it on purpose. They wouldn't be intelligent enough to do that. But if a spider was standing in the doorway, it could potentially also get healed by that.
Okay.
Wait, how does this healing spell work?
Basically, if you start your turn, so every 6 seconds, if you're touching the spirit at the start of your turn, you get a heal.
Oh, okay.
It's for 1d6, so it basically adds up over time. But for
not bad.
basically, you can just stand there, everybody could be all standing around the spirit with their hand on it, and everybody heals up. Okay, did you mark off your spell slot?
Yes.
Alright. Then the swarm that is... This is the one that was actually on Sarah, that would have moved with her. It actually moved with Sarah and is kind of outside of the area of all of the light, otherwise it might have dissipated as well. So it is going to try to bite at Sarah. And natural 1, of course. And one of its implements is broken, one of its items is broken.
Wait, natural 1, can I go ahead and cast my Bountiful Luck?
Okay, so this is the spiders trying to bite Sarah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Never mind! I do not want to tell the spiders to do a good job.
The other large spider that, one of them just got basically the corpse is laying there. Oh, you know what? If I was a jerk, the corpse of the previous one is actually not dead, it's just unconscious. The spirit being there could have healed it, but it is not going to. It is going to rush up in front here to try to bite at Sarah, being the closest target. These are very hungry spiders, which got an 8 for a total, so it misses. And is going to retreat away around the corner here, so you'll have an opportunity attack if you want it.
Yeah, because I still have the foreboding knife out, right?
Yeah, you took it out, so I mean you didn't tell me you put it away, so I assume you're still holding it.
Yeah, I'll try to hit it.
Okay.
This will be interesting.
Missed.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not quite as deft with your offhand with your left hand at it. So you try to jab at the spider as it comes towards you, and all it does is just kind of scare it back. So its attempt to bite you misses, and then it kind of rushes away around the corner here. All right, it is North's turn. You are inside the spirit, so well you would have gotten a heal, but you're full. So.
Okay.
Okay, while he figures out what he's doing, how do I change my damage on my other cantrips?
So all you got to do is click the damage button. So click the magnifying glass to the right, and then any of them that have damage. So like the 1d8 necrotic on chill touch, hit the magnifying glass to the right of it.
Okay.
And you see where it'll bring you another window that says spell ability damage. On the left of that, you'll see dice. If you right-click that and then clear, it's the bottom right icon. And then you just pick up the dice from the bottom left, pick up whatever it's supposed to be, like 2d8 or whatever it's supposed to be, and drop it on that box with the die where it says dice, and it'll put it back in there for you. If you're just adding to it, you don't even need to erase the initial one. You can just add the die. So you just drag another d8 over to it, for example.
All right, and that's the third from the right?
D8 is third from the right, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And try to cleave up that spider.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through, because that was just a healing spirit there, right? I can move through that, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that hits.
Alright.
You like cleave square through the side of it, so kind of between the legs, between all of its legs, and cut it in half. It is toast. So there's just the remaining swarms to deal with.
So I just see swarms. Okay.
There are more spiders around. I would say that we'll drop out of initiative here, because you can see the rest of this hallway. There's just doors all around you basically, but it is very thickly filled with webs in all directions that you can see. Oh, I turned this down too much. Whoops. There we go. So you guys kind of smack away at spiders, getting rid of them as best you can. The spirit is there, so you'll be able to kind of heal up just by standing in it. Fox, do you mind taking care of that?
Yep.
Yay!
I don't want to, roll over and over again for stupid spiders, for little swarms that are not very effective. While you guys are kind of, Samson is trying to help Sarah, and clean off as much as he can. That his sword is still illuminated. Norok's cloak is illuminated. You guys are seeing essentially torchlight, kind of illuminating the chamber in here with all these spider webs. Samson is kind of looking at doors and carefully trudging through the webbing here. He says, if you guys don't mind me asking before we get too much further in here, I'm afraid we're gonna find bottles. So if you don't mind me asking, what did you guys hear?
Well, he's gonna tell him the same thing he told him 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Pogo actually said what you heard, right? Do you repeat it then?
Yeah, just repeat it. I don't know where it is on the track.
I'll pop it up for you. He said that's what he told Pogo. That's what Pogo heard.
Also, I was gonna.
So initially, by the way, you guys wouldn't recognize Bottle's voice, so it wouldn't have sounded like anything to you. But whatever Samson heard, it was in Bottle's voice. So that's when he said, Bottle, and looked to be confused. What was that? What was Pogo doing?
Oh, he found a shiny thing over here in the corner, and he's gonna pick it up and see what it is. Or can he look at it a little bit better? Can he see what kind of shiny is it? Like a coin or a rock?
You can see. I mean, as you're kind of still pulling webs off, like chunks, like literally pulling off, full strands of webs, almost like you guys got in a silly string fight, like just big ass chunks of webbing as you're kind of dropping it off from you.
We're covered in spider ass rope. We get it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's quite shiny, but it looks like it's like a silver bracelet.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything on it, or?
No, you just pick it up. This looks like an expensive one. That was a message to everybody, G.
Oh, okay.
But Samson is asking as he's similarly trying to pull webbing off of himself and get as much of this off as he can as he's looking at doors, that kind of thing.
I'll just tell him. He told me I will be his acolyte. Yeah.
He looks
Acolyte.
Yeah, he looks pretty perturbed by that.
Anyone else hear anything? I'm sorry. Anyone else hear anything?
Don't forget character voice.
I'm not quite sure if Ireland or Scotland exists in this universe, so we'll just pretend.
Because those are totally the same accent anyways, right?
For me, they're pretty much identical. Yeah, you're not gonna find much of a difference.
For an American.
Yeah, that's about as close as it's gonna be.
Norok says, "Big guy, did he say anything to you?"
Yeah, he did, and I'm looking back and I cannot see what it was.
It said,
But he
I have
did.
it. I have it. So he said that
Thank you.
to Norok.
Yeah. I'll say what he had said to me.
So
What I heard.
I'm gonna talk to Samson real quick. Actually, first I'm gonna talk to whoever's. Is it raining?
I think it was a spell effect on my side. It must have been.
Okay.
Okay.
First I'm gonna talk to whoever's in charge of healing and be like, "Can someone heal me too?"
You're.
Thought that would be nice.
Well, if you were touching it, it looks like Fox just didn't see you in the combat tracker.
And then I'm gonna talk to Samson and I'm gonna say, "It doesn't sound like your friend is in a good state of mind. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think? Sounds a bit dangerous."
He just nods. He says, like, you can tell that he seems to be pretty, bothered by this, understandably so, considering the situation. But he just kind of nods and is looking downward and kind of continues brushing off webs. He says,
I don't want to sound like, the crumb bomb of the group, but this sounds like we might have to fight this guy that's putting these things into our heads. I'm just letting everyone know there's a chance we're gonna have to fight this guy that's talking to our brains.
Samson's, still kind of nodding. He says, "I don't mean to be brash about this, but Miss Arteme, did you hear anything? It seems the rest of us did."
Tell Nisha and the kids I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yep. Nope. This isn't good. This is not great. This is. I don't like this.
As he's kind of pulled the webbing off, he says, "We still, you're right. This is definitely a bad situation, but we have to find that ark and get out of here."
Oh.
Do you know which room was hit?
Who's chuckling? Is that Ben?
Yeah, sorry.
Norok's laughing.
Yeah. Norok's laughing his ass off.
Should we maybe take a quick break, a quick rest, maybe? I think we killed all the spiders. I'm scared of opening up more doors.
Samson says, I don't know if we've got the time. This thing could go down in a minute.
All right.
Especially if we keep catching things on fire. We're trying to catch
Can
things
we,
on fire.
Norok, do you want to follow me into this? Stay right next to me while I open the door to this room too, and we can see what's in there. Maybe everyone can hang out behind me. I don't want to walk into another invisible wall of spider shit. So
yeah, you have been both times, like the both
it's
times.
not
so
been
far
great.
Of the kind of webby ambush. Like spiders are ambush predators, of course. So the stuff's coming.
Well, at least there's a door in the way, so I don't think I'm gonna hit any spider webs if there's a door here.
Unless it's a web trap.
Oh crap!
I'm kidding. All right. Clear initiative here too.
Does anyone? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Should we open a door?
I'll open it.
All right, I'll stay right behind you.
Okay. That.
Samson, you wanna come over here, Samson, while we go through these doors?
Let's get as many people between me and these spiders as we can. Hang on, that is number 9. That room, as soon as you open the door, there is some webbing kind of holding the door shut, but you're able to kind of push right through it. It's filled with just smashed furniture, crushed wooden boxes, other debris, but all of it is covered in thick layers of spider webs. And as soon as you open the door, thousands of tiny spiders just scurry through the webs and under floorboards and...
Close the door! Close the door!
They are very little ones. They could easily swarm, but so far
close it. Just
they're rushing away from. You get the impression from the light source, which is Norik's cloak at the moment.
so at least they're running away from us, not straight
they're
at
scurrying
us.
away. Yeah, no, not towards. And they would also. These were tiny ones. They would go right under the door, anyways. So.
Oh, tiny ones.
Yeah.
Alright, stepping in.
Okay.
Oh.
But I mean, it's smashed up furniture. Like this looks like it probably was a cabin, but it's basically just smashed to bits. Everything is destroyed in here.
Yeah, there's nothing like underneath any broken furniture or anything.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh boy. Oh.
I would be rolling so well today.
Yeah, I'd been with your disadvantage, but you, as you're kind of sifting through this, you're starting to get pretty severe hunger pangs, and you're not entirely focused. You're a little drowsy, it seems almost, but you don't see anything of value. It basically looks like everything is pretty well smashed.
Alright, yep, it's empty. We're good.
We're definitely not taking a rest. Okay.
All
right.
Samson is like he feigns a chuckle. You can tell that his heart's not in it. He's not giving a real laugh, but he's like trying just because it was funny. So he's kind of chuckling, and he's getting ready to open this door. He says I'm gonna give this one a shot, guys. So
Great.
Get ready in case anything springs out.
I'm behind you, big guy.
He says you can stand behind me. It's fine. If anything comes, I'll take it first. So. And he opens the door. You can see over his shoulder in there are palm fronds.
Or through his legs.
Yeah, I guess probably around his hip, actually, because you're not quite that short. He's not giant like Norak. That one is 7. There are piles of palm fronds stacked up in one corner, and you see something moving on the palm fronds, and it's fat and purple. It looks like a slug, almost like a tadpole or a slug, and it is moving. It's crawling along the palm fronds, and as
does Pogo see it or does Samson see it?
Both. Like Samson.
All right, just to let you know, Samson, there's a penis coming at you. Giant penis coming through the trees. I see it.
Not quite. More like a tongue almost. Here, in fact, I've got a VA for you. You see one of these crawling along the palm fronds, and as soon as it kind of starts moving, it's not moving towards you. It doesn't seem to care that you're there, but it's moving along the palm fronds, and then you see another one climbing up above it, climbing up along the palm fronds underneath it, and it's chewing on the palm fronds.
Oh.
You see at least 2 of these, but there may be more because the palm fronds are like moving a little bit. They're a little bit too fat to fit under the door, it seems like.
All right, well, I say we close the door and find out if anyone wants to go murder these little penis monsters. I'm a little tired. They don't seem like much of it. I'd like to go tell the group about it.
Okay, Norak, Sarah, and Arteme, you guys, hear them with a kind of disgusted sounds, and then they close that door back up again. You didn't actually see the things, but the discussion, give me a intelligence check on Arteme. Your spirit would have dropped by now. I'm gonna take it off.
Yeah, sorry, just let me find it.
You're fine. Just flat intelligence, not a skill.
Oh, oops, I was looking at skill.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, with that roll, so you hear from around the corner Pogo say that these penises are coming at Samson. and your initial
and they're
thought,
purple and they've got weird mouths.
Your initial thought, oh, okay, so if he says that specifically, then that they've got weird mouths, your thought goes back to the skull or the severed heads that were nailed to the wall on the deck above.
Okay.
And they had holes chewed through their ears.
Okay.
I say we find the thing we need and then burn this fucking ship to the ground.
I would call out to watch out. They'll eat your brain.
Hang on.
Or try to.
Norak heard. So Norak, when he said that out loud to everybody, Norak was it crawled through my brain. One of the things that that you guys all heard, the kind of telepathic discussion of, was apparently Bottle saying it crawled through my brain, and he did say that out loud to everybody. So you guys would all be kind of on the same page there.
So maybe we should all avoid these palm fronds, so we don't have anything crawling through our brains. Just a suggestion. Oh, there's so much more of this ship.
Samson, you see him kind of stand still for a second after you guys have closed the door, and he basically, he's kind of spun around, he's just standing very still, and he kind of holds a hand up, and in the universal gesture of, like, quiet for a second. Sarah, Norok, and give me perception checks. Pogo, you make one with disadvantage.
Aw. Alright, I can do this. Disadvantage. So if I click disadvantage, and then I just click perception,
yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah, bottom left corner you click dis.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have you roll this in the tower, but I don't think I've shown you how to roll stuff in the tower yet.
What?
So with disadvantage, you actually still rolled really well. Norok got a natural 20 though. You both, Sarah, you're still a little bit, like the hunger pangs in your stomach are just too loud. The kind of groaning sounds. But Norok and Pogo both, there's nonsense whispering coming from the door to the south.
South is how it is on the map.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It'd be stern of the ship.
Oh. All right, guys. We heard some whispering. Should we go check out this door? Oh, I'm not super excited.
Samson says, I mean, I can go first. It's up to you. You guys looking over your shoulder at
How about you can go first and I'll go behind you a few feet. I don't have to go last, but I am 4 feet tall. No, 3 feet tall.
You're 3 foot 2 inches, yeah.
I'm 3 feet tall, so...
Yeah. He looks at you, he says, I appreciate your bravery. I was really talking to Norok.
Yeah.
I mean, we want as much, let's say, armored... Well, Norok's not armored. We want, our strongest fighters in the front, probably.
Is there enough space? What is that big?
That's
the square, the big
the mast. The circle's the mast.
The circle's the mast. Yeah. There's barely enough room for Norok to get past that mast. That's the ship's mast.
Square.
The what? The big square?
That's right next to Sarah.
The hatch. That's a hatch that goes down to the floor below.
Okay.
So above you, directly, if you looked up right now, there's light coming into this room. It's not much because it's actually an overcast day. But directly above you is a grate that looks out to the sky. So if you look,
at least we have Norok's cape giving us some light,
and Samson's sword. So basically, right there, you can look straight up, and you're looking through a grate. If you look at the map to the right, it's the one that you guys were checking that was rusted shut. You're basically looking up to the sky right now. There's light directly above you, sunlight.
Okay, so I'm good standing here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hang out with Serafina. That way, if something tries to come up through this bottom grate, maybe our weight combined will keep it from happening.
Okay, that hatch. Yeah. So that's a hatch. That's not a grate. The grate's above you.
A hatch. Yeah.
You guys are standing on a hatch that presumably goes down to the cargo hold. What's Arteme doing?
Slowly coming.
Just trying not to touch a single web. Okay. Samson looks over his shoulder. Then Noraki says, "You want to flip coin for it?"
Yeah, sure.
Roll a D4, G, and we'll just if you right click on it, I think you can actually get a D2. You can. So right click on the D4. No, sorry, that's hang on, it's custom dice. Where is the?
There's a roll 2 here.
Well, that's roll 2 D4s is what that is. Right click on the D6, and there will be the top left is custom dice. The top right.
I like all the things we're learning.
We don't usually use these too much. Usually I just do it, for simplicity's sake. Okay. So you got tails, he got heads. So, well, you were basically, he was heads, you were tails. So.
One of us has to call it.
He kind of steps forward. He says, "If it's Bottle, and I'm thinking it might be. I don't know that he'll be savable. It seems like he's probably gone, but let's do what we can, I guess. There it is.
Can I, outside of battle, can I cast Bardic Inspiration? Actually,
Yeah, you don't have to be an inspiration or an initiative order to do that kind of stuff.
let's see, quick. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration on Norak.
Okay.
Be like, don't worry, man. You'll be fine. It's half decent chance.
You know, if you're going to use them, you still have 2 left now, so you can put them on anybody you want. You don't have to be an inspiration to do that. How long does it last?
10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of time then. Okay. All right, and you get him back on short rests too. Okay. He very carefully grabs the doorknob and turns it, and it turns freely in his hand. And he's kind of holding his greatsword over his shoulder. The flat of the blade over his right shoulder is kind of slowly pushing the door open with his left. It's dark in this room, only illuminated by his sword and the cloak, and the little bit of sunlight coming through the grate above you. Just through the doorway, hovering a foot or so from the floor, hovering off of the floor with its back to you, is a humanoid creature in a tattered and salt-stained black robe. And it kind of turns its pitiful gaze over its shoulder towards you, towards Norak and Samson. You two... Pogo might be able to just barely see this. Sarah, you won't be able to see this at all. And Arteme, you're behind Norak, so you wouldn't be able to see it at all either. But for at least Samson and Norak and a little bit of Pogo can see what was clearly a human man at one point. Its left ear, the shoulder that he turned towards you, is just borne through by something that clearly gnawed its way into his brain. His hair's fallen out in patches, leaving behind this pale, kind of clammy-looking purplish blue skin. But most alarming of all, though, is the tendril-like appendages that are squirming out from its mouth and gripping the severed head of what looks like a half-elf of some, like a largely decayed half-elf. This is about what you guys see.
Sexy.
And it, Samson shrieks. He says, "Bottle, what happened?" And as he's kind of murmuring this at him, this obviously was him. This now that Samson has identified it, but the squad mage Bottle drops the severed head from its tendrils, and it lands with a thud on the floorboards. And the creature's tendrils flare open, revealing a beak-like shape where the mouth should be. I'll reveal the room for you there. It emits kind of an ear-piercing wail, and then its form begins to kind of blur and shift, similar to the spider creature that you guys had fought above. And we would go into initiative, but we're actually at time here, so we will start next week off with... Oh, I didn't reveal this token for you. There you go.
Neat.
So we will start here next week. Let's see, what does the calendar look like?